With just Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Thank you, Dave. Right now it's 11 in St. Peter's, the same in Florissant. Sunny skies downtown, 14 degrees. I'm Scott Jagow, KMOX News.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plate. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Good afternoon, St. Louis. DG Ask 1041 FM KMOX. Happy snowy, icy Monday to you. Man, oh man, that was something, wasn't it?
Oh, man.
Sucked.
Dave kind of nailed it, though.
He did.
We got a little more snow Saturday during the day than he said we would, but
And a little less Sunday. So in total,
less
it was.
Sunday.
I think we measured it. We have a table on our back patio.
Yeah.
And it's just flat, so we can see exactly
right.
how much snow, because it doesn't melt when it's this cold.
Yeah.
And we had like 9.5 inches in the backyard.
Yeah. I found it completely pleasant. Like, I didn't have to be out this weekend, thank God, so I didn't. And then today, the new Jeep just busted through everything.
Dave's like, I am free.
Yeah, went by and picked Rach up.
Yeah.
And, did pretty good.
I appreciate that very much.
You're very
Dave,
welcome.
'cause
I almost
hate
needed you.
driving in this
I
stuff.
almost needed you to pick me up outside the building.
Right. It
Couldn't
was
get
pretty
in?
bad.
The whole ramp on the way to the garage is just covered in snow and slush. And
Yes.
thankfully, I didn't drive my car today.
Yeah.
I drove the SUV. I drove the car that Susan drives.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gotten up the ramp in the Camaro.
No.
Wouldn't have happened because nobody did anything. No salt.
Nobody did
Didn't clean
anything.
anything. So nice job, Park
Yeah.
Pacific. We really
Way to go.
appreciate you. And I'm sure the residents in the building appreciate
You
it
lived
too.
up to the standard we've grown accustomed
They
to.
literally did nothing about a snowstorm we knew was coming for a week.
Yeah.
No salt. Nobody. I mean, if you own the building, get your own ass out there and shovel that out.
Yeah.
If you're not going to find someone else to do it.
It was interesting going from my place to Rach's place because roads like Big Bend were just wet. Mm-hmm. The interstates were pretty great.
Yeah.
Not to dox where Rach lives, but
I know, I'm over here like,
I'm not, don't worry. And then on her street and in her address.
You get to her crappy neighborhood. Nothing's loud.
But no, like going from major side street to interstate to lesser side streets, it's like night and day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Which is, it's okay. It's understandable. It's not great, but it's understandable. A little bit. I mean, like, I didn't understand a little bit of it. Like, if you get on, I came in on 70 today. I can go 70 or 40. I'm kind of equidistant. But it took 70, and it was totally clean and cool until you got inside 170 inside the airport. And then some of the lanes, it wasn't terrible by any means. But for some reason, once you got into the city limits, it was worse.
yeah.
And I know it's MoDOT either way. I don't understand why it's suddenly worse when you get inside the airport. And then Tucker was not great.
No.
I mean, you got a major road going through downtown, and it's only one lane in each direction.
So when I was living in Alaska, you would just get used to, and it's maybe like this in Michigan, you would just get used to ice, snowy roads.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see the gravel or the asphalt for weeks.
Not on side streets, yeah.
Yeah, and like you kind of get used to it, and I drive a Jeep, and I'm pretty comfortable doing that. It's one thing my anxiety doesn't touch, thank God.
Nice.
Now that I've said it, I won't be able to drive home. But yeah, I think it's going to be like that all week. I mean, I don't know what they can do. I don't know if you have 4 inches of packed ice and snow that the graders have gone over, if there's stuff you can put on it to melt it.
Yeah.
So
I know the salt that I put on my driveway worked, even in the
Did it? Good.
even in the 0 degree temperature. So I don't know if they can use the same things though. I don't know what the rules are or what's available in mass or whatever.
yeah, I like all of our clothes today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We look
We're
so
all
cozy.
spiffy.
Rach is super cozy. Are those like Lululemon kind of pants you're wearing?
The Amazon version, yes.
They look good with your Doc Martens.
Thanks.
They're Lulu Limes.
Andrew, love the shirt.
Thank you.
I'm wearing for the first time my new Wash U.
Yeah, that's nice, man.
I didn't know it was a quarter zip, and I didn't know it was green.
Oh,
So I'm really happy.
It's not. Is it green?
Yeah.
It is
dark-
green.
like a forest green kind of.
Forest
thing?
green.
Yeah.
It's
'Cause
the greenest
almost-
sweatshirt ever, and he gets he gets to work and he pops it out and he says, "This is green or black?"
Yeah, I thought it was black.
It's,
They're both,
it's
like, very
really
green.
on the border.
Yeah.
like a shade of gray.
And
that
then
looks straight out of the Wash U gift shop, Like that could
For
not be
sure.
more of a
Oh.
student. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Dad
sweet.
bought that for you while he was visiting.
And
Yeah, and
double.
it looks extremely comfortable.
it's
Yes.
super cozy.
Well, you got the double. You got the quarter zip hoodie.
yes.
They don't
Yeah.
usually go together.
No.
Yeah,
so
it's
I'm
a nice one.
very happy with
Nice.
that.
Yeah.
Wheels is wearing a beautiful baby blue sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought this not that long ago. December.
Very
Got it for
unconventional
Christmas.
for you.
It is. It is. I needed a sweater-ish thing that was somewhat dressy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, guess I better go buy one because I don't have one.
You know when you wear the black boots I gave you and a black shirt and your black leather jacket, and I say you look like you're collecting on the port of New Jersey.
I'm helping out Tony Soprano for the weekend.
Only scarier look than that would be the one you have now.
The preppy look.
Yes. If you showed up at my house in that sweater and grabbed me by the lapel and said, I need my 3 Gs, I'm like, this guy's capable of anything.
Atlantic City enforcer on his day off,
Yeah.
going to church on Easter.
Man.
Yeah.
That's funny.
No. I'm just thinking.
No.
Well, it's like we don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
No, well, James Wilford is from Minnesota, southwest suburbs of Minneapolis. He says, I'm looking forward to your discussion. And, on a day like this, when we all did this, we all went through this over the weekend, I think you just need to jump into it. So let's jump into it. And I'm going to give you, we haven't talked about it at all. Here on the show, I was busy all day and on Zoom calls and stuff. We've not had a discussion about it at all. Rach and I a little bit in the Jeep, but I'll give you my thoughts. And this may take a couple segments. And you can give me your thoughts, especially there on the stream. So I am concerned and affected by what happened on the streets of Minneapolis this weekend with the shooting of Mr. Preddy, Alex Preddy. I'm even more concerned with what surrounds it and what happened afterwards. I try to be very fair. I try to be as objective as I can, to the point that I push myself farther away from what I think just to try to be reasonable. Does that make sense? Like, I think the killing of Renee Good was terrible. I think it was completely avoidable. But the fact that she did technically hit the guy with the car makes me soften my position to people on the other side. Like, okay, that's why I said to Brad Young, I don't think there's ever going to be a prosecution because she did technically hit him with the car. And once you get into, would I have been afraid?
Mindset. Yeah,
Would you have been afraid? Was that guy afraid? Then it starts to get very muddy. And in muddy situations, as a lawyer and as just like a thinker, I like to give people a little more benefit of the doubt. This was not that. When you watch any of the videos from any of the angles, you can tell that what the administration's story was minutes after it happened was complete BS. To the point with what Noam said, either she didn't watch the videos before she popped off, which would be terrible, terrible. You are a secretary. How do you not watch the video of an American citizen being shot to death for the second time in a couple of weeks? How do you not watch every angle you can multiple times and consult with your people before you ever go on the air and say something? How do you do that? So let's give her the benefit of the doubt. and say that she did, she watched the video, then you are bald-faced lying. Because I heard her before I saw the video. And when she said this guy approached law enforcement with a 9mm, I'm like, well, you can't do that. You can't do that. You go brandishing a gun around a bunch of law enforcement, and you're going to get what you get. And then I saw the video, and I was just furious. What the F do you mean approached them with a gun? Here's what happened. We all know what happened, but I'll say it anyway. The only thing I know about this guy's life is he seemed to be a pretty good guy. He was a nurse for the VA, no criminal record. I liked the way he tried to help that lady when she got double-handed shoved down by ICE. That's all I know about him. He could have been a horrible guy, but all the universe of what we know, he's not that. Certainly nothing about him says terrorist. And when she said he obviously showed up planning a massacre of law enforcement, lady, how dare you? How dare you talk about one of my fellow citizens in such disparaging ways when you don't know jack crap? Or if you do know jack crap, you're perfectly comfortable lying about an American citizen. So I don't think he should have been in the middle of the road. I don't think you should impede law enforcement, but I'm kind of a rule follower when it comes to law enforcement issues. But as far as I can see, that's all he did. The lady gets double-handed shoved. He goes to help her. They don't like that. They pepper spray both of them. You ever been pepper sprayed?
Nope.
It's not pleasant. And then 5 of them immediately descend on him, and he's never off of his knees after that.
He's got a cell phone in one hand.
Yeah, a cell phone or a camera, whatever that is. It's clear. It's crystal clear that he didn't have a gun in his hand. There's no way they could have known he had a gun until they see it in his holster. It's so clear that one of the agents sees it, takes it, which I'm probably okay with.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to scrum.
If you're trying to subdue someone, I think that's a reasonable move.
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
But then the fact that a guy is there legally, we can agree or disagree whether he should be in the middle of the road, but it's foreseeable. The guy's legally at a protest, utilizing his First Amendment rights, while also utilizing his Second Amendment rights. He is legally carrying a concealed carry, which he has a permit for. Kash Patel's dumbass thinks that that's illegal. It's not, you piece of crap. There's never been a less qualified person in the FBI, much less running it. What a joke. And this is what happens. I told you when he was appointed, it was all going to go to crap, and it all has. So then he's in this scrum. I guess what they want is for you to just fall on your belly and put your hands behind your back. But I'm not sure that's the way humans work. If the 3 of you jumped on me right now and started kicking and punching me, I would probably try to get away or fight back or something. So basically what happened to me is a guy shows up using his First Amendment rights and his Second Amendment rights, gets into an altercation with ICE or border agents, whoever it was. They immediately get on him and start pummeling him. They see he has a gun. One of them removes it. So he's now been disarmed, and then they shoot him 8 or 9 times, and he never got off his knees. There's that still shot where he's literally on his knees, and there's an agent behind him with his gun drawn, pointed at the back of his head. I am really waiting to see what my 97.1 people say on and off the air, what my conservatives friends say, what my Second Amendment people say. That gun he had, I have the exact gun. I have that exact gun at my home. 9mm Compat Sig Sauer. I have been to protests with that on my body. Rach, remember when you and I and Close and Andrew went? I had that gun on me when we went. Now, because we were there, I just already had it on. So how dare you? Stuff happens. People are people. We get into terrible situations. That's bad. But it's completely unacceptable. And I mean that in the true definition. We should not accept this. It's unacceptable to take a person completely within their rights, shove them, pepper spray them, pummel them, disarm them, and shoot them to death. That's not okay. And then it's completely unacceptable afterwards to lie about it. Bovino, the guy that thinks he's Goebbels, I saw him on Dana Bash. You should go back and watch that entire interview. He talks about the victims here are the Border Patrol agents, not this guy. They're the victims. After they shot Renee Good, the guy immediately said, effing bitch. After they shot this guy, one of the agents started clapping. What the hell? Who are you? What are you? What are you, Kristi Noem? What are you, Kash Patel? What are you? Not even who. What? What sort of creature are you that you can be in such a position of power and responsibility and either not watch the video and just go on national television and tell you a bunch of lies, or you, even worse, watch it and then bald-faced lie? And here's the worst part. The worst part is they are telling us with this and many other things, don't trust yourself. It's one thing for Trump to say, don't trust the Democrats. It's one thing for Hakeem Jeffries to say, don't trust the Republicans. But how dare you, F you, for telling American citizens, don't believe your eyes?
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
I was ordering food for the office from the same few places for too long.
For workplaces suffering with office food fatigue, every day's a struggle.
Before starting Easy Cater, I assumed having no good vegan options for Carl in finance was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat OFF with a huge variety of favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Used daily, one platform lets you save time and shine. Ask your app store about Easy Cater or start an order at easycater.com.
Tell you guys about Michael's Flooring Outlet, the easiest, simplest live that I do all day, the easiest, simplest live that I've ever done. It's flooring. And when it comes to flooring, like everything else, right? Like recently, I've had a bug up my butt looking at drums. I have 3 drum sets. I don't need any drums, but it's exciting to look at drums. And when you look at drums, you have really good companies like DW and Ludwig and Pearl and Yamaha and Sonar. And within those, you can get an entry-level kit. You can get a professional kit that's not a gazillion dollars, or you can get the $10,000, this is the nicest drums that we make in the world. Same way with flooring. You have Shaw and Coronet and Mohawk, and those are your DWs and Ludwigs and Pearls. And within those, you have like a kind of a starter indoor-outdoor kind of carpet. It's great. It's great quality, but it's not what you want in your formal room. Then you have the normal carpeting. This is good enough for anyone in the world. Then you have the luxury, where it's that room that as a kid that your rich friends, like you couldn't even go in there. You certainly can't take Kool-Aid or pizza. We have it all. We have it at better prices than anyone else because we know what we mark up and we mark up less. We shake your hand. We look you in the eye. We don't follow you around the store, but we're in the store if you need us. It really is kind of perfect. MichaelsFlooringoutlet.com.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, DC. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Fairwinds River's Edge is more than a place to live. It's a place to belong. Come see why we have been voted Best Independent Senior Living Community for 4 years in a row by U.S. News and World Report. We think you'll like it here, and the experts agree. Come see us for yourself. Call to schedule a tour and complimentary lunch, or to learn more about our upcoming App University that can help enhance your everyday life. Find us online at fairwindsriversedge.com.
This is Mike Grimm, former host of the KMOX Sports Open Line. Congratulations to America's greatest radio station, 100 years strong as the voice of St. Louis.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 125. Just so you know, we may talk about this for the rest of the hour. I'm not sure. It's very important. Not just that someone lost their life again, but what's going on in our country and what we say to each other about it. As you guys know, one of my big mantras is tell me how often you criticize your side, and I'll tell you how patriotic you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think we need to see some of that from the right.
Yeah.
I'm going to shut up. Open to you guys.
Well, I can offer an answer to your question before, Dave, when you asked the question, what are you if you're going to take these tactics? If you're Kash Patel, and today you're saying, or this weekend you're saying, you don't bring a weapon to a protest. But 5 years ago, you were leading the charge to defend Kyle Rittenhouse for doing exactly that. There's video of Kash Patel defending Kyle Rittenhouse's rights to bring a weapon to the protest that he was attending. So how do you switch in 5 years and change the standard? And how do you spin things like Kristi Noem has now done twice without addressing the facts on the ground? And you said, what are you? I can tell you what you are if you're acting like that. You're an authoritarian. That's what you are. Authoritarians feel that the law serves them and them alone. They control the law. Breaking the law is not okay because you're trying to enforce a different law. We've got law enforcement agencies all across the country who do things the right way. And again, do some things wrong too, but the majority do things the right way because they know that they have to follow the law to enforce the law. It is a basic tenet. And in these cases, you don't just get to make up new rules as you go along. The constitutional rights. I mean, we have had, Dave, repeated violations here in Minnesota of the First, the Second, and the Fourth Amendment. So where are all of our constitutionalists? Where are all of our Second Amendment rights for a guy there who had a concealed weapon that was not, if he had, like Noam said, if he had intention to kill people, he would have walked up shooting. He could have taken out 5 or 6 guys right there.
He certainly would have pulled it when he got attacked.
But he didn't do that because that wasn't his intent. And when you're lying about it, it's because you have bad intentions. Yes. And you don't care about constitutional rights or the law. You don't. You just want your side to win. And nobody on that side has the balls to just say it out loud because they know people would turn on them.
Dude, they don't care about Americans. They care about their Americans who keep them in power. And keeping them in the dark, covered in crap like a mushroom, that's what they care about. How do you have so little caring for a fellow citizen who was shot dead in the street that you can say with no reason, with absolutely no evidence, that they were a terrorist and they came there with the intention of a massacre. That's a quote. How do you say that? And how do you say that and keep your job?
Well, because your boss is the ultimate, what I want is all that matters. The law doesn't matter. The Constitution doesn't matter. We only use those weapons if they help us. And if they don't help us, we cast them aside.
And that's what's wrong with this country today.
Yeah.
Is we have bought into this Cards versus Cubs, red versus blue, R versus D, liberal versus conservative. We've bought into this screwed up, effed up version of it. Some of us more than others. Some of us are still like, are we going to play this game? I don't want to play this game. Why are we playing this game? But so many of us are in. They're so far in the game they can't see back out. Let me tell you about my good friend, Dr. Matt Bays at Bays Sports Med. Why does Matt exist, and why do you care in the medical world? Because he's kind of a tweener. He is not an orthopedic surgeon like my other client, Dr. Corey Solman, but he goes right up to that. He has been doing sports medicine for about 15, 20 years. He is the sports medicine doctor for high schools and colleges, former college athlete himself. I've taken Phoebe to him several times. I've been to him several times. He's great for pulls and strains and breaks and ruptures and everything that can happen to your body. He's great at that. He also has an extensive background and knowledge of stem cell injections, regenerative medicine, but that's not what he goes to every time. So if you are someone you care about, has been injured, has something chronic, or is injured in the future, and you want to go to a doctor who will sit and look at you and listen to you and not just give you the the pablum like, oh, yeah, do this, this, and this. Someone who really, truly cares. That's Matt. 636-735-3003. Bays, B-A-Y-E-S, BaysSportsMed.com.
Okay, I don't want to be mean, but if you're a guy and you just have a grimy, multiple times refilled bottle of Dial that's got the crusty soap on the outside, that's a red flag.
What if you just have a bar of Dial soap with no soap dish?
I never like the bar of soap.
What if you have one bar of soap and you take it from the shower to the sink, back to the shower? How would you feel good about going to that guy's house?
Oh my gosh, I think I would just leave without saying anything.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores. Weekdays at 9 on KMOX.
If you need a garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are open now for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of your choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorstlouis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorstlouis.com.
Last year, we had 295 trials where we'd been offered a total of $90 million on all those cases. When the dust settled, we had recovered over $1.1 billion in verdicts and mid-trial settlements. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. We won a lot, $30 billion and counting. The best part of all those wins is that it helps you when you hire us. All those wins allow us to let the insurance company know we mean business. And believe me, they know who we are. If you've been injured, Google Morgan & Morgan results. You're not bragging if it's a fact. 3 million people tried to hire us last year alone. That happened for a reason. Visit forthepeople.com and let's get started this minute. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Here's Dave Murray's weather forecast.
No question, we are in the Arctic icebox. Lots of sunshine out there, but it is bitterly cold. 16 for the high, wind chill 0 or below. What happens with fresh snow cover is the sun is trying to use its energy to melt that snow, not warm the air. And that's why we stay quite cold, and the fresh snow cover certainly doesn't help. It creates the icebox conditions. Clear skies tonight, 6 for the low, a slow rise in temperature after midnight. Tuesday, sunny skies, 31. We're ahead of the next Arctic cold front. Comes through Tuesday afternoon. Tuesday night, partly cloudy and 0. Wednesday, partly sunny, 25. Bitter cold stays with us Thursday, Friday, and into the upcoming weekend. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Cardinal Cowboy here. Renner Garage Door has you covered. Renner's been turning garage doors from zero to hero since 1966. RennerDoorSTL.com.
RENNER.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
This is John Pertzborn with Ben and Gentry for HeatUpSt.Louis.org.
We're the Golden Boys!
For the 26th Rise and Shine benefit.
It's Friday, February 13th.
Your lucky day to volunteer.
Or buy a sausage or egg biscuit for $1.
At participating area Hardee's.
It's HeatUpStLouis.org to also pre-order. That's HeatUpSTLOUIS.org.
Put the biscuits down, Ben.
Oi!
Rush Hour Sports, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here.
Bernie Miklasz joins Rush Hour Sports tonight at 5 on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS 135. I'm so, you know, when you eat too much like cherry pie or too many Snickers bars and you got that belly, got like that popcorn belly, ate too much popcorn. That's how I feel about my government right now. I am so sick of being lied to. I was lied to during the whole first Trump administration. I was lied to about January 6th. I was lied to during the Biden administration, at least about his mental faculties, if not more. And now this first year of Trump has just been off the rails lying. And more than that, I am heartbroken that my country that I have supported is okay with lying, that it's just become so easy. It's not even become easy. It's become the preferred way to do business. Just lie. What are they going to do? Bitch and moan? What, some guy in St. Louis is going to go on a radio show? Who cares? Just lie to him. Biden's fine. January 6th was like a tour. They were all just peaceful people. The Capitol Police really started all the trouble. This guy was a domestic terrorist. This ICU nurse from the VA who was trying to help a lady up who got double hand shoved by ICE. I'm so sick of the lying, but I'm even more sick of the fact that they think they can just get away with it.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot this weekend. Renee Good hit somebody with her car, and Alex Preddy was pulling a gun out to kill people. I want everyone who is in support of ICE and this administration to ask yourselves, what are they going to say when it's me? When you get shot in the street by 6 ICE agents on a power trip, what are they going to say about you? What are they going to say about the gun that you have legally holstered? What are they going to say about, the sedan that you're driving? What are they going to say about you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew brings up a great point. Not only do they execute you in the street, but then they call you a terrorist and they besmirch your name. And then everyone on the internet gets to say whatever they want to say about you. So you go from being no one to now your corpse is being desecrated online, basically. By anyone with an opinion can just say whatever they want, and you're backed up by the Department of Homeland Security because they've already labeled you a terrorist before there was even an investigation.
Before your body's literally cold.
You cool with that, guys? You think that's going to work out for the everyman? You really think you'll never be in the crosshairs of that?
There was a time in our country that being a United States citizen was like carte blanche around the globe. I'll get this story wrong, but there is an American citizen who got his you-know-what in the ringer in like Panama or something. And Teddy Roosevelt sent like a battalion of troops to get him. That's how important a single American citizen was. And now they're just someone to be shot in the streets and lied about so that you can keep power, so that Kristi Noem or some other idiot in the administration has a chance to be president someday. That's all they see. That's sick. That is sick. That's not bad politics. That's not wrong. That is sickening. That someone could use their position of power in the United States constitutional republic government and just bald-faced lie to hurt citizens and help themselves. That's sick.
Mm-hmm.
And someone said, it only takes 5 minutes to call your representative. Absolutely. And I'm in a position that I get to talk to my representatives. I get to see them on my show. I get to share with them. And I have shared with my Republican friends who are in the legislature, higher offices in the state of Missouri and Illinois. Everyone thinks I'm such a liberal now. Well, here's the fact. In 25 years of voting, I voted for one Democrat because I had the Republican on the show and he was a dick. So I didn't vote for him. I voted for his Democrat guy. I didn't even care. 1 in 25 years. That's a pretty good conservative record. But I am running away as fast as I can from the current crop of conservatives and Republicans. And I've told my Republican legislators, I don't know what it would take or how long it will take until I could get the puke out of my mouth to vote Republican again based on the way that you guys have accepted all this and ran around lying and covering up for it. Not every one of them have done these things. I think most of them find it offensive and disgusting, but they have another agenda. I don't have another agenda. I'm just a guy at the radio show and a family who votes the way my values lead me to. And guess what? There isn't a candidate or a party that matches my values. There just isn't. The Democrats don't. The Republicans don't. I feel like they've both just gone haywire crazy. So the best I can do is find an individual in any given election or write someone in. Rach, go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
To me, it's really, I'm not interested in talking about the parties when it comes to this issue. To me, it comes down to, are you okay with the lie or do you see the lie? Which one is it? Because they're lying and we all know it. I think deep down, everybody knows it. So are you okay with the lie or are you willing to speak out against the lie? If you're willing to speak out against the lie, I don't care who you voted for in the last election.
Amen.
Come on over. Stand with the other people who are willing to call out the lie. You're all welcome.
Yep. Agreed.
Everyone's mad at Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan's like, I had no idea this would happen. And he helped it happen. Sure. But let's let Joe change his mind if he wants to change his
100%.
mind. Everyone is allowed to change your mind. You have my support anyway.
Yes.
So come on. When you see the lie, call it out.
And if you're okay with the lie,
you're the problem.
It's because you think it can't happen to you.
Right. It's very
It's because
foolish.
you think, it's extremely foolish because it's only a matter of time before I start setting up roadblocks and somebody's driving home a conservative with their legal gun on them that was not having a good day, and he gets mad because he's white, and why am I getting pulled over? I'm white, yada, yada, yada. One thing turns to another, and some ICE psychopath puts one in his head too, right? It's because if you're okay with it, it's because you think that this cannot happen to you because you're conservative or because you're white or because whatever it is, and I'm telling you it can happen to you. And that is why I implore you, like I said earlier, to ask yourself, how am I going to be labeled the terrorist when I'm laying dead in the street next? Because it can happen to you.
Yeah, for people who voted for Donald Trump this time and say, yeah, this is what I voted for. Yes, this is what I want. And I'm okay to break a few eggs to make that omelet, which is getting rid of all the illegals, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's nothing I can do but talk to you. But damn, brother, we're different. We're not the same. We're just not. And if that leads you to say, I'm never listening to the Dave Glover Show again, enjoy whatever you find. Go, we'll part as friends. But if you can look at this and be okay with it, we're different.
Yeah, I mean, because we get a lot of comments like, well, they're just trying to enforce the law. Right. Cool. But you don't get to break the law in an effort to enforce it. And what's the rush? What's the big hurry? Why do we have to have the massive break in why do we have to suspend constitutional rights to go after illegal immigrants? Why do we have to have administrative warrants instead of judicial warrants? Why are we changing the rules and again, subverting the Constitution? What's the hurry? If it took 20 years to get to the way it is, so what if it takes 10 or 15 years to fix it? Make progress, but follow the law.
Yeah, Obama.
Follow the law.
Obama deported 3 million people. Mm-hmm. Do you remember it?
No, because they weren't rounding up random people in the street. They weren't crashing on people's doors without judicial warrants. The how is what matters here. Again, the what is not the end of the world to most people. There are people that will say that what they're doing is cruel and inhumane. I think most of us would agree that it can be that and also the thing that a law enforcement officer has to do to enforce the law. But you follow the law to enforce it. You do not suspend rights to speed up the process. We have a country that is built with the intent that things will move slowly. That's why we have due process. That's why we have a constitution. It's why we have 3 equal branches of government. Because things aren't supposed to just be expedited for speed. You can easily do this the right way. It'll just take longer. And speeding it up is not a good excuse to suspend constitutional rights or to break the law, whatever law it happens to be, even if it's just a city law in Minneapolis, St. Paul, or a city law in St. Louis. Do it right. Follow the law. If it takes longer, it takes longer. There's no hurry. You can get the job done, and it might take some time. But here's the problem. That's not the issue. They don't care about getting the job done right. It's about scoring points. It's become Twitter. All it is a means of getting people to fight. Because keep in mind, I think this is important to remember for all of us. What we see on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, whatever, they're not all coming from like normal human beings. Some people are instigators on purpose. Some are bots that are instigating on purpose. I would be willing to bet, no way to prove this, that more people in real life are bothered by this than you would guess by looking at the reactions on social media.
I think that's fair.
I mean, because I see a lot of stuff on Twitter. I'm like, bot, instigator. They're not people being genuine. They're just doing it to stir up problems.
Yeah.
And I think if I'm wrong about that, well, then that's too bad because then we're in a really bad place.
And here's the thing. It's one thing to watch it on television on a snowy weekend and get pissed. It's one thing to come on your radio show and rant about it. I mean, I could drop dead of a heart attack right now, but I'm probably going to have Alzheimer's in 12 years. And if not, I'll be dead in 20. My kids are going to live in this world.
Yeah.
I got to live in the world with Three's Company and O'Charlie's.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm so pissed. That's why I'm so scared. I can grit my teeth and get through anything. But I don't want my kids and my grandkids living in an even worse place because there's no guarantee it's going to get better.
Yeah.
It could absolutely get worse.
When governments act this way, think about time throughout recent history. When they act this way, when do they just stop doing it?
Right. When did they go, that was my bad?
No, the thing is, you'll get through one group. Okay, we dealt with that group. Now who's next on our list of people that we don't like?
Let me tell people about John Moriarty at E3 Wealth. I marvel at how quickly your life goes by. And like that 25 years between, say 25 and 50 or 30 and 55, it's just like, God, it goes fast. And you try to find something you like to do, and you try to make some money, and you try to buy the G.I. Joe, the Kung Fu grip, and you try to save something for retirement, and it's hard. It's hard out there for a pimp. You need someone to help you. If you happen to be a business owner or an entrepreneur, there's a special guy, John Moriarty, that specializes in you and the ways that you avoid taxes and the way that you make money and you invest money and you pass your business on to your kids or you sell it to an employee that's been with you for 25 years. That's what he does. If this sounds like you, it's nothing but a cup of coffee and a discussion. E3wealth.com for John Moriarty.
Big game, big screen, big energy at Ballpark Village, Sunday, February 8th. Enjoy the big game like you're in the end zone, featuring in-arena touchdown celebrations, fan cams, contest VIP packages, and more, hosted by RDJ and DJ Dex. Save up to $10 on tickets with code KMOX. Tickets and event details at stlballparkvillage.com/events. For more information, KMOX.com/events.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Call 877-WINDOWS. That's 877-WINDOWS. Or head to rbastl.com.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on a Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder. Now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
At Graybar, we know your time is money. That's why our services go beyond parts and products. With kitting, pre-assembly, wire carts, and Graybar smart reels that keep you moving. We stage materials and manage logistics so you can spend less time sorting and more time installing. And with locations nationwide, we deliver when and where you need it, working to make your job easier every step of the way. Yep, Graybar does that.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey. 2026 is here. A new year means new goals, fresh starts, and for many homeowners, it might be time for that big move. If you've been thinking about selling, this is the year to make it happen. I'm here with Gloria Liu from Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria, what should home sellers know as we kick off the new year?
Thanks for having me. The start of a new year is always an exciting time, but it also means more sellers are jumping into the market. That adds competition, so timing and strategy matter. The good news is, my team has qualified buyers already looking for homes right now. Whether you need to sell quickly or maximize value, we'll create a plan that works for you. Plus, I guarantee to sell your home at your price and time frame, or I will buy it myself.
Start your new year strong with Gloria Liu and Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Call 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Make 2026 the year you move forward with confidence. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 152. Thanks for everyone on the stream for jumping in, whether you agree or you disagree. That's friggin' America, right? We get to agree, we get to disagree, and we get to work things out. It feels like... I know this isn't the Holocaust. I know that there have been so many worse things happen, but I feel like I'm living in a privileged apocalypse. I still got my big house and my Jeep Rubicon and my 3 drum sets, but it kind of sucks. I'd certainly give all those things up to have a little sanity in my life.
It is amazing that human beings, we seem to come back to this kind of behavior way too often. Like when, I don't know, I guess it's just there are certain people that there's never enough in this world, and the only way you can have enough is to take from everyone else. But how do you even get to this point where it's just so much easier and better for everyone if we all just don't act like big a-holes? Like, what's this thing about, we got to impose my will on other people? Just go do what you want to do and leave everyone else the hell alone. There's something weird about us. There's something wired in us that's a little off that might have been necessary 10,000 years ago that is not necessary anymore.
Agreed. Yeah.
But see, a lot of us have the ability to control it because it's just a decision. You know, you have consciousness. You have the ability to go, you know what? No, that's not the thing to do. It's better if I don't do that.
I think also a lot of my conservative friends with whom I used to align, it's like this is either the sunk cost fallacy or it's the opposite. I don't know. But when you get so deep into something and you start to go like, this is not what I thought it was. I should get out of this. Whether it's a relationship with a person or it's a political party or it's a job or whatever it is. But it would be such a gargantuan thing to say, hey, I'm no longer Trumpian. Hey, I'm no longer in favor of this. Hey, just so you know, I've modified my political, religious views, what have you. We need more people like that. I'm not saying that change for just the sake of change is good, but if you're not changing when you have a compulsion inside you to change, just think what it is that's keeping you from it. Is it losing face? Is it losing friends? Is it losing your job? Go woke, go broke? Like, what is it? But there comes a point, and I've reached mine, clearly, where you just go, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Let the chips fall. Lose my job, lose my popularity. Okay, at least I have my dignity. That's Dave Glover saying I have my dignity. For the love of God.
Makes you think.
I'm not sure anything illustrates this moment more than that. I pulled my pants down and tried pooping in a cup on my way home 10 years ago. And yet I still have my dignity.
That's great.
Tell you guys about Michael's Baths. Mike is a great option. Now, if you don't want a bathroom remodel, he's a terrible option because that's all he does. He's not going to do your kitchen. He's not going to do your outdoor area. But if you are thinking about modifying or completely gutting and starting over with your bathroom, whether it's because you or a loved one's getting a little up in age and you're afraid of them falling, like my mom did, or you just want to beautify it, expand it. I'm tired of a tub. I want to pull that out, put in a shower, the kind with no door, blah, 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 whatever it is. He can do it better than Bath Fitter and 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. He can do it 30 to 50% cheaper than Bath Fitter and 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. He's local. Everyone who he employs and trains is local. So every dollar you spend with Mike is staying local. I don't see a reason to not use Mike unless you just have some sort of an in with a national company. 636-775-0800, michaelsbaths.com.
Hey, Jeff, looks like your business is really booming, even in a tough time for businesses like ours.
Hey, Mike. Yeah, thanks to LendSeek, our business was able to take care of some outstanding bills and taxes and to purchase inventory and expand our product lines.
Wow. You know, my business needs working capital, but only from a reputable company that I can trust and count on. How does LendSeek work?
Fast and easy. Just apply at lendseek.com. Their AI lending platform gave my business access to over 100 funding programs with one simple application. And it costs nothing to apply.
At lendseek.com, you can receive business funding with no collateral, no prepayment penalties, and no restrictions on how you use the funds. Whatever your funding needs are, seek no more. Our AI lending marketplace has you covered. If you've been in business at least 1 year with annual revenue of at least $250,000, you could get the funding your business needs in as little as 24 hours. There's no obligation, so apply today at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at Amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
This is an important message for all parents of teens. If your teen or preteen is or has been addicted to social media sites such as Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, or YouTube, and they have suffered from eating disorders, body image issues, anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, you may be eligible to participate in a lawsuit for significant compensation. Disclosures by a Facebook whistleblower show Instagram and Facebook know their social media platforms were highly addictive and may have caused eating disorders, body image issues, depression, and suicidal ideation. It appears these social media companies knew they had been causing serious harm to kids, but have done little to stop it. If your teen has been harmed by social media like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, or YouTube, then you could be eligible for significant compensation. If you'd like to discuss a lawsuit, text LEVEL to 323232, LEVEL to 323232, LEVEL to 323232.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson, Media Advertising Specialists, LLC, is responsible for the content of this ad with principal offices in Chicago, Illinois.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock, mostly sunny and 16 downtown at the Gateway Arch. Good afternoon. I'm Scott Jagow. Our top story this hour, Minnesota officials and the federal government are at odds over how to handle this latest ICE shooting. Minneapolis leaders say they want to be a part of the investigation of Alex Preddy's death, but Homeland Security says the case belongs to them. Roa Brooks is a Georgetown University law professor.
Normally, federal law enforcement, local law enforcement, state level coordinate pretty effectively together. And that's, I think, part of the reason that we ended up with this horrific shooting and with so many incidents of violence is that we've seen federal agents come in without any apparent interest in working collaboratively with local authorities.
Meanwhile, a federal judge is hearing arguments on whether to stop the immigration crackdown in Minneapolis. This month, 3 people have been shot by ICE officers, 2 fatally. The one over the weekend we just mentioned. Minnesota and the cities of Minneapolis, St. Paul have also sued the Department of Homeland Security. President Trump has approved disaster declarations for 12 states now that this winter storm is ripped through the country. Although the frigid temperatures are going nowhere, CBS's Katie Weiss is in Tupelo, Mississippi.
Essentially, all of northern Mississippi is encased, blanketed by this thick layer of ice. And the trees look like something of another world. They're all droopy from the weight of the ice. They don't look like a snowy Christmas card. They look like something totally different than what you're accustomed to seeing in any other winter wonderland scene.
Here locally, with these prolonged, dangerously cold temperatures, you can't be without heat. KMOX talked with Ameren, Illinois, who provides gas service, about protecting your meter.
Ameren, Illinois Supervisor for Gas Public Awareness, Jake Duquette, also volunteers as the Deputy Fire Chief of Operations in Sherman, Illinois. And he tells us these temps bring a couple of different concerns.
The snow and ice buildup is an area of concern where your gas meter has to breathe, just like we do. The parts and components of a gas meter, specifically the regulator, actually has a vent. And those vents need that air, that open air, in order to operate correctly.
Chief Duquette says if you have not checked your outdoor gas meter, do that now. There is likely snow and ice around it, and he says take a broom and brush the snow and ice off. Maria Aquina, KMOX News.
From the KMOX business desk, a recent story about fake trading cards featuring the Chiefs star Travis Kelce may be the start of a new trend in scams. The Better Business Bureau's Josh Plano says scammers try to cash in on popularity.
Celebrities are very useful vehicles to get scam-related content in the hands of consumers because they're widely known. They are people that consumers are very interested in learning more about or accessing merchandise from.
The latest trend is a form of phishing in which scammers have placed a QR code on unordered packages. He says don't scan any mysterious QR codes. Your weather is sponsored by the Overhead Door Company of St. Louis.
No question, we are in the Arctic ice box. Lots of sunshine out there, but it is bitterly cold. 16 for the high, wind chills 0 or below. Clear skies tonight, 6 for the low. Tuesday, sunny skies, 31. We're ahead of the next Arctic cold front. Comes through Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday, partly sunny, 25. Bitter cold stays with us Thursday, Friday, and into the upcoming weekend. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Need a new garage door? Entries are open now for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorslouis.com. Deadline to enter is the end of this month. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorslouis.com. Right now it's 12 in St. Peters and in Florissant. We are up to 16 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Scott Jagow, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Hard left turn, something a little more pleasant than what we talked about the first hour. As you guys know, I'm a baseball nut. Not just the Cardinals, not just Major League Baseball, but my own baseball. I play on the Bud Light team, on the 60 and over Forever Baseball League. Always wearing my jerseys, have the guys on the show. Ed Wheatley is, I've known Ed for a long time, but we've become better friends recently, me getting back into baseball. Ed's sort of like the godfather of Forever Baseball and plays 10 times more than I play. And he's an author. He's written the book, The Finest in the Field, A History of Baseball Through 50 Iconic Gloves by Ed Wheatley, foreword by Johnny Bench. That doesn't suck. Take a look at that if you're on the stream.
What a beautiful cover.
Yeah. What a beautiful book. I mean,
wait do you see inside the pictures inside?
This is like by porn. I mean, 50 Rawlings baseball gloves.
Is it all gloves, Dave? Are you in there like the kid with the Sears catalog, but it's gloves?
No kidding. Circling the ones I want.
It goes into not only that, it's the evolution of the glove, how it came about as baseball became popular. As we were speaking a minute ago, the old phrase, use two hands, we heard from parents and coaches. And the left hand caught it, didn't have a pocket, so it stopped it. Your right hand
kept
held
it in there.
Yeah, that's where the two hands come from. And it's we go into some of the greatest moments in the history. And we got the gloves from, Chrissy Mathewson in 1905 World Series. Through three shutouts in the series, and we got his glove. Willie Mays, everybody knows the Willie Mays 54 over the head catch.
Yeah,
we got the glove. Mano in 56, the long run into Death Valley at Yankee Stadium saves Larson's perfect game in the World Series. We got the glove. I mean, we got him all the way up to the big dumper from Cal Raleigh. This year.
And what's kind of crazy is that we'll play this game. Oh, Babe Ruth will get struck out by Paul Skeens every single time. Well, think of the plays these guys would have made if they had our gloves.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Go look at the old catchers. They're standing up.
Yes.
They stand up, and they got these little frying pans, and they're trying to stop the ball. It's amazing.
Well, and it's also, the rules changed
Yeah.
with the evolution of the glove. I mean, before, like you said, the catcher stood up, but they were standing
30 feet.
30 feet behind their
Yeah.
bounce. An outfielder, if he caught the ball on one hop, was an out. The advent of the third strike, catching it, and there's the infield fly rule was created after the glove because people were all of a sudden, expected to make an out, and so there's a whole that we go into all those gloves, even the one where in 1954 you couldn't just throw your glove onto the field and leave it. When you went into the dugout, all gloves had to go into the dugout with you.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, there's just the great history, and we go through all those moments in the Gold Gloves.
So for me, like I'm very on record on my show that I'm sort of obsessed with objects. I kind of like, I just as a kid, I was like Morgan Freeman in Shawshank, where if you needed something, you'd come to me because I had it. Like I'll trade you a prism for a pocket knife. I've just always loved tactile things. And I've always loved baseball. And the conjunction of those two things are the baseball glove to me. Like I own 23.
Well, you tell, once I started writing this with Major League Baseball, Rawlings, and all these great ball players, we got into the thing, and everybody, says, my first glove,
Yeah.
They you remember that, and I always joke that, for a young man, and it's the same for young girls because I've got some of the female softball greats and players in there because I, got to make sure I cover both angles. But, the first love is not the blue-eyed, pigtailed, freckle-faced girl in grade school. It's an object in lace, your first glove. And 40 years later, you can tell them the color, the name, the model, everything about that glove. You don't know any of these people's names or phone numbers or anything, but that first glove and how you took care of it. And, did you put Vaseline, shaving cream, Glavoleum, whatever, and make your pocket? And I have many of these guys tell me, how they got their first glove. Johnny Bench, he got his picking cotton. Bill Mazeroski got his first glove after his uncle said, if you dig an outhouse hole for me, I'll take you and buy you a glove. On and on, they tell me your story so you can resonate. Did I do it just like these Hall of Famers?
Yeah, that's what's such a relationship between you and the glove because, and we've all done it so many times that you get a new glove and it's stiff as a board and it's completely unusable. And then, like you said, whatever your method is, and everything from dunking it in water to don't let water touch it. I learned about shaving cream from Wheels.
Yeah.
I forgot who the player was. I just saw him the other day who talked about every game, after the game, he would cover his glove in shaving cream and put it in the freezer.
Yep.
And then take it out the next day.
They each got little innuendos, and some guys, Ozzy, for example, his first glove was not made of leather. It was a paper bag that he formed.
Yeah, he told me about
he could
that.
throw balls against the steps, and then it was a ricochet. He could grab it. I mean, and I got all these stories from all these great men. Nolan Arenado told me it was the first thing about his first glove. My dad said, write your name into it and your phone number. About 5 times later on, we get this phone call. We got Nolan's glove. So, I mean, they each have these little stories that, you can relate to, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah. Kev?
I think that, when you're looking at it, because you use these things so much, that it becomes a part of how you feel the game. Right? Like infielders, everybody's got a little different preference. Some infielders like a tiny little glove that barely fits over your fingers. Others are like, no, that's not for me. I need a little bit more webbing. As a catcher, I've always gone back and forth between the different kinds of gloves, and I came around in college and realized I like the heavy gloves. You got lighter ones, you've got heavier ones, you've got bigger pockets, smaller pockets. So I've always liked the heavier feeling glove, especially as a catcher. And it doesn't really matter because both can work. It just felt right, and that's what it becomes. It becomes what feels right on your hand.
Well, it feels right, and, the evolution, like, the very first gloves, as we said, in the old days, catchers wore really 2 gloves.
Yeah.
One on each hand. The first gloves only covered the palm. The fingers were exposed, and the catchers would catch it like that. Then they went to the big pillows.
Yep.
And then, eventually, Johnny Bench really made famous the model with the hinge. The catcher's glove, they put a hinge, so he kept breaking his hand. His exposed hand, so he could come out and grab it almost like a first baseman.
He was the first guy to go the one-hand catching.
Yes.
Before that,
Was
the
he
catchers
really?
would all be 2 hands in front.
Right.
You'd see them all kind of in that position. If you're looking at the stream, you can see it. where it's basically all right in front of you, and he was the first one-handed catcher.
That reason,
and people thought at the time, that's ridiculous. Don't do that. That's terrible.
Right.
That's against all the rules that we've taught for generations. And he proved, though, that putting the right hand behind your side or behind your leg, behind your back, however you want to do it. I liked it behind the calf.
Yeah.
Is not only a good way to protect it, but also nobody else, like a first baseman, doesn't catch the ball with two hands.
No.
It limits your range, and it's not any easier. It's making it harder to catch it, and that same rule applies to catching now. And you can see now, you know, when you look at it, they're going to find one person that's going to set themselves up with both hands there, unless they're really anticipating a guy running and they're going to throw him out.
Right, and you know, and it's really interesting that the pillow glove, the first ones, those big thick ones that you speak of, when the rules of baseball were first created, you know, by at the beginning by the pitchers, actually kind of threw underhand. They did not throw overhand.
Their job was to allow contact.
Yeah, and it was the kind of throw like you're pitching horseshoes. And it had to have that straight, or else it was like a balk. So when they laid out the rules of baseball, it was underhand pitching. But then once they created the glove, pitching went overhand. They could throw harder and more direct. So
and start making it
it's
move.
Just dominoes effect across the history of baseball. All the things that the glove impacted.
Yeah, that's why, I mean, speaking for myself, that's why people are obsessed with baseball. Not only is it fun, but it's the history for many of us of your life. And then you look back over the course of the history of baseball, like when I just watched the Ken Burns documentary, it's like a living, breathing, it still is.
Yeah.
It's still changing.
This is what kills me about people that get really upset about changes. This game is the game you thought was the real game in whatever. For me, it would be the 80s. That's when I was a kid that was really conscious. I remember the late 70s into the 80s. The game that it was then was nothing like the game it was 50 years before that. The only thing that's constant about sports in general, but baseball specifically, is that it changes. The rules change, the gloves change, the athletes change, the tastes of the fans change, and all of that is going to lead to a different. So the game as it is now will be different in 5 years, and it'll be different in 10 years.
And we'll be bitching about it.
And people, it took for the life of me, the people that don't understand that the game has never been static. Go look at what Ed's describing from the very beginning of the sport and track that to now. It's two different sports.
Yeah, I mean, there's really one constant. You're playing on a diamond, 90 feet. That's it.
Right,
Everything else has changed. The ball has changed.
Yes.
How the
bats have changed.
The bats.
If I live to be 100, I'll be like, we didn't have holographic runners, you know, like
we didn't have GPS for out and safe at first base, right?
So Ed, if you're just joining us, Ed Wheatley's with us. His book, The Finest in the Field: A History of Baseball Through 50 Iconic Gloves, is out March 24th. Best way to get it once it comes out?
Well, it'll be in every store, online, everywhere. We're going to have a couple big events here in the St. Louis area local. We're going to kick off something at the St. Louis County Library Author Series, which is the number one author series in America that we have out there across from Frontenac. And then 2 days later, we're going to have the Rolling Experience, and we'll be making an announcement about all those events and who will be there.
Okay.
We're going to have some guys that actually wore the gloves, you know.
Well, Ed is also the new president of the St. Louis Sports Commission, and you guys...
Sports Hall of Fame, not the commission, the Hall of Fame.
Oh, this one says commission. So tell us about your event coming up on the 4th.
Yeah, next Wednesday, February 4th, we are inducting our newest class. The St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame was created in 2009. We've been out putting in some, we are the best sports town in America, not just the best baseball town and all that. We are the best. We have more diversity of sports and history of sports than any other city in the country. I don't care what Kansas City says they're the number one soccer team city in America. No, we've got a greater history that dates way back, more depth, more things.
Why don't we give more credit for that, Ed?
Some of it is you've had over in Kansas City, you've got, the Hunts and those brothers putting all that money into, they're getting the World Cup there. We are just catching up in soccer. We were, all the way up until the 70s and 80s. We went from, the stars in soccer at Busch Stadium, and then, we went indoors and we're so great. But then we've run into a decades of lull, but it's all coming back, and you saw St. Louis U has the most college championships in soccer than any other school in the country. And, look at this year in December, they went back and they almost got to the finals game one more time. They got 10. So, we have this history. We got the history, all these sports we have. we were the hub of tennis, North American tennis throughout the 60s and early 70s. The Herman Trophy is awarded here. The Davis Cup comes from here. The Walker Cup comes from here. Over at the MAC, they also give out the Oscar Robinson Trophy. So just like the Heisman is given in the New York Athletic Club, at the Missouri Athletic Club, the Herman for the best fit male-female soccer player, and also the Robinson for the best basketball male and female in college. And it just goes on and on, all the things that sports create. So we try to keep that alive. And, in St. Louis right now doesn't always get the best press in different areas, but our brand is sports. Sports is the thing that people across this country resonate and identify with Missouri and St. Louis. And that's what we do, is keep that alive. And we've got a great induction class. Starts with your teammate on Bud Light, Bob Ramsey.
Yeah.
40 years behind the covering the Billikens. But
Bob told me, he said that the dean of SLU came to him and said, Bob, we did a little math, and you have seen more St. Louis Billikens basketball games than any human in history.
Probably right.
For real.
That's crazy.
That's probably right.
Crazy.
We got to, we picked someone with sports inspiration. You talk about the moment in sport, just like we did the gloves. We got Layla Anderson coming, who led us through the Blues. We got Pat Maroon, 3-time Stanley Cup winner, coming. We got Todd Worrell. Mike Jones, the tackle.
The tackle.
He saved us, got us our one Super Bowl, Al Joyner, Jackie's brother, Olympic gold medalist. Dan Rawls is 14 state titles in basketball at Incarnate Word. Bob Sunvold and all his great years down at Mizzou, and now UMSL's turning into quite a pick. Todd Royal, Rookie of the Year, Fireman of the Year many times. We bring in the Hummers. The girls fast pitch softball. They were great in the 70s. And guess who their commentator was? Bob Ramsey. So we tied all this together, and we're also going to honor the DeWitt as our sports leadership family. I mean, when you look at what Bill DeWitt Sr. did, baseball is celebrating 150th year this year. For 112 years, the DeWitts have been there. Bill DeWitt Sr. Joined, and he's worked for the Browns as selling soda at Sportsman's Park. In time, he would be their owner and own the stadium, but he also worked at the Cardinals under Branch Rickey.
Yeah.
Branch Rickey moved him over when Rickey left the Browns and went over, and he created all kinds of firsts in baseball.
Yeah. How do people get tickets, Ed?
You can go to the ticket. You can go to the website, STLS Hall of Fame, St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame. There's a link there. You can purchase tickets. It's at the Missouri Athletic Club next Wednesday night.
Very cool. Thank you, and thank you for the book. I can't wait to dig in. It's Ed Wheatley. Thank you, buddy.
Right.
What's up? It's Draymond Green. I'm back for my 14th NBA season, and my podcast, The Draymond Green Show, is back too. This season, I'm breaking down games, reacting to the biggest NBA stories, and sitting down with teammates, rivals, and culture shapers. And trust me, I'm not holding back, on the court or on the mic. 2 new episodes every week, new segments, big conversations, real basketball talk for the real hoop heads. Listen to and follow The Draymond Green Show wherever you get your podcasts. We're back, we're better, let's get it.
Let's go! You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
We asked parents to share their journey of adopting teens.
They changed who I am because I can't see life without them in it.
Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide.
based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Whether you're a bird enthusiast or you simply enjoy the sights and sounds of nature, Enchanted Gardens Cardinal Mix Premium Bird Food Blend is a must-have year-round. Pick up a 20-pound bag. On sale now through February 8th. View our entire selection of wildlife products on Menards.com. Plus, check out our weekly flyer and find all of the great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Tell you guys about First Missouri Credit Union, and I tend to be overly apologetic in life and about my live endorsement clients when I tend to do, the same live over and over. But with First Missouri, they have big things, They have 3 or 4 really big reasons. And I'd rather just tell you those each time as opposed to try to find and they have the best coffee. Who gives a crap? The difference between banks and credit unions, the best I can tell. I'm sure there are banks that are focused on being really friendly. But in my life of dealing with banks, maybe I've just been intimidated or something. I always feel like I'm going in as the underdog with them looking over their severe glasses at me, and there's something I'm missing or there's some reason they can't do what I'm asking them to do. With credit unions, it's the opposite. Now, they may say no to you because they have a fiduciary duty to all of their other members and owners, but their thumb is solidly on the side of the scale to say yes. 4.27% interest on your checking up to $100,000. The lowest interest rates in St. Louis on car loans and on signature loans. They just treat you really, really well. They have 2 beautiful locations, one of them brand new, down at Lee May Ferry. If you say, I'm not going to South County, I live in Litchfield or whatever it is, as long as you can go one time, you can do your business at pretty much any credit union that's near to you. 314-544-5050, the number one, stmocu.org.
I dared Archwell Health to keep track of my vitals and my grandkids' names.
I dared Archwell Health to simplify my prescriptions, so Max and I have more time to play. Good boy.
And I dared Archwell Health to be closer than my neighborhood coffee shop.
Our members dared us to do more as a primary care provider for adults age 60 and up. So we made it our mission. Visit archwellhealth.com and become a member today. Archwell Health. We dare to care.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Want to build income without a second job? Learn how real estate investing can help you create extra income one step at a time with Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
This is Mayor Kara Spencer. Congratulations, KMOX, on 100 years of great service to the St. Louis region.
What a show. So far, we've talked about politics and ice shootings and Rawlings baseball gloves.
The big 3.
Big three. Who's got something to take us down to the bottom of the hour? Rach, you got a bunch of interesting stuff today.
Let me look at the sheet here. I don't remember anything I put on here. Oh, man, last night, I'm going to bed.
I knew this is where you're going.
It's 10:15. My phone lights up. It is a push notification from the Taco Bell app. You'll have to believe me. I know it probably seems like I'm lying. I swear I haven't gotten on the Taco Bell app in weeks. I haven't had Taco Bell since September. I had a horrible experience, and it really put me off of the bell. And and they're like, it's not too late to order tonight. And I'm thinking, okay, first of all, it's a horrible snowstorm. I'm not going to have someone deliver Taco Bell to me.
Yeah.
It's 10:15 on a Sunday. This is the Lord's Day. I'm going to bed. You should not be pushing through a notification at this hour, especially from Taco Bell. It just feels wrong to me. Man. We need to draw a line in the sand. And these apps, these companies, they need to have some better boundaries.
Megan kept getting DoorDash driver alerts, like at the worst of the storm. That was like,
meaning we want you to go drive?
Yeah, like, ooh, bad news. We've decided to shut down service in your area. And then, like,
10 minutes later, she got one that was like, good news, we're restoring service, and it's so busy. Everybody wants food. Get out there and get delivering.
So Saturday, I was texting with Trish, and I'm like, what's the move here? Like, I don't want to make someone come to my home while it's snowing like this, but they're out there.
You're not making them. They want to be delivering at that point.
I did. I had delivery on Saturday. Sunday, I'm like, well, no one's going to be delivering. But I popped it up, and it made me so mad because DoorDash said, hey, we're not delivering today. I'm fine with that. I get it. Snowstorm. It said, but you can go ahead and use our app and have it ready.
Yeah, you can pre-order. You can pre-order tomorrow's lunch.
Or even like
that day and just go get it yourself.
But why wouldn't I just go to McDonald's?
Yeah.
Why am I going to pay through you?
Or use their own app.
Pay an extra $8.
Yeah.
And that made me mad. Then I was like,
Yeah, it should be illegal to send a push notification that you didn't explicitly agree to.
I understand if I had something in my cart, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I hadn't opened the app in a very long time. Again, you're just going to have to believe me on that one. But
We trust
it's true.
you, Rach.
And I thought, you shouldn't be doing this. This is wrong.
I would believe you, except for you keep asking me to believe you so much.
She's like, I didn't have anything in my cart before they sent that notification.
Do I have the order that I would get ready right now? Yes. Yes, I know exactly what I would get if we were ordering Taco Bell right now.
Tell me
Correct.
quickly before you do Lombardo.
I would get the Volcano Quesarito and also the dipping burritos, the steak dipping burritos.
Defensible.
Those look good.
Those are really
Defensible.
good.
Let's talk about Lombardo Homes, shall we? Check out Sutton Farms by Lombardo. This is a beautiful community in St. Charles County, and it's such a convenient community, and it's all about community living. So you're going to have basically resort-style amenities, but you don't even have to leave your neighborhood. And in weather like this, doesn't that sound nice? There's a clubhouse, a dog park, sports courts, walking trails, a splash pad for when it gets a little warmer outside, pickleball courts, sand volleyball. I mean, come on, there's everything you need right there at Sutton Farms by Lombardo Homes.
Yeah, Rach does such a good job on her half of Lombardo. It really just leaves me every time to say that I am Lombardo's first ever paid spokesman. I've known Melissa and Mike Van Pamel from day one, literally. They're great people. They're great friends. They don't expect you to sign a contract the first time you contact them. Let them drive you around and show you all of their communities. Good people at LombardoHomes.com.
Who's been talking about St. Louis sports since 1985? Bernie Miklasz.
The reasons Tony Romo has basically just collapsed as an analyst is he doesn't put any work into it. You can tell. Collinsworth is very well prepared. You know, he knows what he's talking about because he's researched it and he's talked to everyone and he's made sure to get details and to be on top of things. Romo just kind of wings it.
Bernie Miklasz. Hear what he has to say on the voice of the St. Louis Cardinals. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Here's the weather forecast from Dave Murray.
Are in the Arctic ice box. Lots of sunshine out there, but it is bitterly cold. 16 for the high, wind chill 0 or below. What happens with fresh snow cover is the sun is trying to use its energy to melt that snow, not warm the air. And that's why we stay quite cold, and the fresh snow cover certainly doesn't help. It creates the icebox conditions. Clear skies tonight, 6 for the low, a slow rise in temperature after midnight. Tuesday, sunny skies, 31. We're ahead of the next Arctic cold front. Comes through Tuesday afternoon. Tuesday night, partly cloudy and 0. Wednesday, partly sunny, 25. Bitter cold stays with us Thursday, Friday, and into the upcoming weekend. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Cardinal Cowboy here. Renner Garage Door has you covered. Renner's been turning garage doors from zero to hero since 1966. RennerDoorSTL.com.
RENNER. If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188. Hey, St. Louis City SC fans, mark your calendars now. The Boys in Red return to Energizer Park to kick off Season 4 Saturday, February 21st. And you could be there for the dawn of a new golden era of St. Louis soccer. Go to stlcitysc.com/tickets and reserve your seat now for the MLS home opener versus Charlotte FC. Limited quantities remain. See you soon, St. Louis.
How many of you think taxes will go up in the future? And if they do, who will get hit the hardest? Maybe it's you, headed for retirement. You've been saving in that 401k or IRA, and that money has never been taxed. And Uncle Sam is looking at that account like it's a big, juicy steak. What can you do about it? Join the All Financial Group for their Taxes in Retirement Seminar, Thursday, February 19th or Tuesday, February 24th. They believe a financial plan is not a retirement plan without a tax plan. Fund your retirement, not Uncle Sam's. Reserve your spot today by calling 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. Or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
It's men's Pelicans basketball action tomorrow night as they take on George Washington. Pre-game 6:45, tip at 7 on your home for Pelicans basketball. KMOX.
Our segment with Bernie is sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Dicon comfort dealer.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. A little bit of technical trouble with Bernie Michaelis on our little doohickeys. So I think Andrew's going to try to get him on the phone, but we'll have him one way or another in a few minutes. Myron Higgins says, Dave, this is going back to hour one, which video angle did you observe the ICE officer getting hit by Good's vehicle? I thought I'd seen every angle, but yet to notice or identify any contact with the car. I don't know how to identify which one. I just know there's a couple.
There's one that is a little bit further down the street, but ahead of the scene, not from the back of the car, but more toward the front. And you can see as it moves that he gets lifted off his feet a little bit. It's not like a violent thing. He can almost get run over, but he was contacted by the car.
I think this is a good example while we're waiting for Bernie to get on. I think Dave Glover thinks that the ICE agent in the Renee Good shooting stepped in front of the car when he could have stepped one step out of the way. I think she was clearly backing up and turning her wheel to avoid him. If she wanted to hit him, she'd just floor it and go straight at him. But me thinking that and feeling that, being a lawyer, I know, doesn't matter much in a court of law. And if I were a juror and I'm tasked with whether this guy is going to go to prison for the rest of his life because he shot this unarmed citizen, and their defense is, I was afraid I was going to get hit by a car, and he did get hit by a car a little bit, that would be difficult.
That said, by the time he fired, he was out of harm's way because he had moved.
Yes.
Now, he was moved in part because he hit the car, but the car at the time of firing was not a danger to him unless that car would have been thrown into reverse and come back or whatever.
Agreed.
I mean, typically, and again, I saw this from law enforcement. This is not my opinion. I have no expertise in this, but from law enforcement, you're not supposed to fire at a fleeing vehicle.
Yeah, I think he killed her because he was pissed. Also, which backs me up because he said effing bitch as soon as she pulled away.
Yeah.
But again, that's my feelings.
Right.
That's
and the
not,
context
not facts.
provides a bit of evidence that says, yep, you know what? The guy was contacted by the car.
Yeah.
That provides a gray area.
Speaking of facts over feelings, Bernie Miklasz joins us right now on this snowy day. Hello, Bern.
Hello. Sorry about whatever technical issues there are. So
no big deal. No big deal.
It happens.
Where you want to start? Gosh, what a great weekend of sports. Where you want to go?
Well, I thought the NFL games were interesting. I think it's amazing what New England continues to do. And, they're now 9-0 on the road this season. And for some reason, people expect them to come back to earth a little bit. And Drake May, their second-year quarterback, who's had a phenomenal season, he's going to get a lot of MVP votes. The thing about him in the playoffs, I admire all three games he faced at least blustery conditions, hardly ideal weather.
Yeah.
To play in. And the guy's a grinder, man. We know he's talented. He put up excellent numbers this year, but he found a way to make plays when they needed plays. In other words, I'm trying to say they weren't masterpieces, but that's really not the point. If you're in the playoffs where it's going to be tougher anyway for you, and you're playing in freezing temperatures, you're playing in the snow, you're playing in howling winds, and points are hard to come by, a quarterback has got to find a way to make something happen. And this dude did it in all three games. And so that tells me a lot about his competitive character and the fact that he's a tough-minded guy. Then in the other game, I don't know what it is about the Rams in Seattle. Like, Seattle shuts everyone down except for the Rams. And I thought it'd be a pretty low-scoring game. I thought the defense would finally take care of the Rams because the Seattle defense gave up 37 points the last time they played, and I thought there's just no way that's going to happen again because the defense is so great. It turned out to be another high-scoring game, and it was very, very entertaining. But Seattle, again, found a way to win, and their defense was great late in the game when it had to be. But I think the story there is that Sam Darnold had the game of his life, and they needed every bit of it to win.
Yeah, Darnold's a guy that up until this year has been the guy that always kind of lost the big game, right? Like he was the quarterback for Minnesota last year. They had the great regular season, and he just was awful in a playoff game against Detroit. And, he going up against Stafford, the only reason I felt this game, because Seattle's clearly the better team. The only reason I felt this game was an opportunity for the underdog, which was the Rams, is because Stafford's a Hall of Famer, and I trust him more in that setting, even though I still picked Seattle. But that was my concern, is that's how good Stafford is. I don't think a quarterback that's not at the level of Stafford leads their team to 27 points against Seattle. I think he was he made some special throws yesterday, and he's got, some elite guys in Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua who just make plays.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because Darnold, it's not like he's had a lot of postseason experience, and he was bad in that. He was bad in that game last year. But one of the things I said going in, in the two games against the Rams this year, Darnold threw 6 interceptions, 4 the first time, 2 the second. And the guy has had a really good season. So my feeling on this, the reason why I picked Seattle and I didn't get all scared because Darnold might screw up, is I thought, you know what, man, that's outlier stuff. I've saw a lot of their games this year, and he actually has played very, very well. But when he was bad those couple times, he was really bad. I didn't think it would be that extreme this time. I didn't think he'd play as great as he did, but I thought he would play a decent, solid, good game. He was phenomenal.
He was. And what's interesting too, Bern, is he's only 28 years old. Darnold feels like he's been around forever because he has, but he was relatively young when he came out of college. Mm-hmm. And it demonstrates, and we're learning this over and over and over in the league right now with him, with Baker Mayfield and several others, that sometimes the guy just needs to be with a coach and in a system that benefits them. You get with the right offensive coordinator, right head coach, right personnel, because a lot of times what we're seeing is these guys fail when they're in bad situations and don't have support.
Yeah.
It's been that way. It's been that way a long, long, long time in the NFL, and that's exactly right. And to give you, I'm going to put a point of perspective on what you just said, Wheels. Darnold's 28. That's how old Kurt Warner was when the Rams signed him. Before he even really got a chance to play, he was already 28 years old.
Wow.
So no, the environment a young quarterback enters when he comes to the NFL has got a lot to do setting the course for his career. And I admire Darnold because he battled through all that. he had been with some really lousy teams. I think being with Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco helped him out a lot, though. So, I think he's going to be a good quarterback the rest of the way in terms of his career.
So we're like 3 weeks from pitchers and catchers, which is super exciting to me. Still no deal on Donovan. I see a lot of armchair guys on TikTok saying this tells you that Chaim Bloom is overvaluing him and XYZ. What, if anything, does it tell you guys?
I'm just going to answer a question by asking a question. How can anybody who doesn't work for the Cardinals and doesn't work in Chaim Bloom's inner circle, right? How do they know what he's been offered? Like, how can you say, I covered this in my video today at STL Sports Central. If I had evidence to say that Chaim Bloom is overplaying his hand, he's overestimating Donovan, okay, I'd be happy to say that. But I don't know what he has been offered. And neither do these people, raising hell on social media, which is a shocker because nobody does that, right? No, we don't know what he's been offered. And the other thing is that it's 17 days until the first full squad workout. And Chaim Bloom, this kind of stuff drives me crazy. You can tell I'm irritated. I didn't realize the regular season starts like Friday, okay? It's like, what? I don't get it. Like, why wouldn't you want the guy to keep working it? Because he's a smart guy. He obviously believes there's a good chance, or at least a chance, that the offer that he wants will, in fact, materialize. But if it doesn't, he has made it clear. He has said it a million times. He loves Donovan, and they're not going to give him away. They're not going to sell low on him, and they would like to have him on the team if it comes to that. It's not like that's a negative for him to come back. But to assume that somehow he's messed this up, that's absolutely hysterical. But it also shows you kind of the runaway arrogance out there. People assume they just run off their mouth about stuff of which they know nothing about, like what Chaim Bloom's been offered by other teams.
Yeah, and this is a player that this is not Sonny Gray in the last year of a deal or, with an option. This isn't Wilson Contreras. It's not Nolan Arenado in that they're aging players that are really expensive. This is a pretty good value player who has 2 years of team control left. And if you don't get what you want now, you might in July if somebody has some injuries. If a contender is really hurt, they lose a second baseman, a third baseman, a left fielder, a right fielder, whatever. So having that extra year gives you the freedom to wait till you see what you can get. And it doesn't mean you'll get more in July. That's not the point I'm making. The point is you don't have to move this guy. He's not in decline. He's not old. He's in his prime age years. So if you don't get what you want, you keep the guy.
Let me say as a fan.
And the only reason you would trade him is if you really got a terrific deal that's really going to make you better in the future. And Chaim Bloom's waiting. There's no reason for Chaim Bloom, to your point, Kevin, there's no point in Chaim Bloom just because spring training, first full squad's three weeks away, to sell, to in a manner of speaking, to sell Donovan at like 75 cents on the dollar. What would be the logic on that?
None.
Yeah,
Chaim Bloom has said over and over again that they love Brendan Donovan, but the reason they're listening is they owe it to the club, they owe it to the future to listen to offers. It doesn't mean because you're listening to offers, you're absolutely going to trade them. And if you get low ball offers, then you should ignore them and move on.
Yeah, as a fan, I understand enough about the sport and the business, and I have enough trust in Chaim, although I've yet to shake his hand. I just like the cut of his jib. I trust that if trading Donovan's the best thing for the long-term health of the club, he'll do it. But as a fan, if I show up in March 26th and Donovan's at second base, rock on.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no bad outcome here. This doesn't have to be, it's not, it's possible that, the Cardinals can benefit either way. So what's wrong with waiting it out to see which way it'll go? I don't understand this compulsion. It's got to be done now.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. Not if the guy running the team thinks some better offers could materialize, and he's got the time to wait on that.
So, Bern, it's always a good time to talk about Saliga. Yeah. I have used Saliga because of your recommendation. They were great. I've used them twice now. But it's it's cold as a bitch out there. So it is a great day to talk about Saliga Heating and Cooling.
Yeah, you're so right about that. And this Daikin Comfort dealer's been taking care of the Miklas. It's going on 19 years now, but they've been taking care of St. Louis family since 1927. And like I always say, it's continuously owned by the Saligas. Dan Saliga is the one making it all work these days, and that great crew he's got. 100 years in business, the same family. You realize how many cold winters there have been? You realize how many times because of these cold winters, maybe they could have screwed up and developed a bad reputation or something like that. It's the exact opposite. This goes 100 years now. People used to be really, really cold back in 1927, but Saliga's always been there to help. And they're reliable and they're honest and they're knowledgeable. They're professional. They find solutions. They look for the least expensive solutions. They don't try to hustle you, talk you into anything, twist your arm. They'll answer all your questions. They'll explain all your options. And this has been going on since 1927, which is why they continue to get more and more and more calls from St. Louisans to come help, either in the summer when there's no air conditioning or in the cold winter when there's no heating. We love them, and I know you'll love them too, because we feel good when we know they're on the way when we have a problem. That's the nicest thing you can say. That's a great compliment for Saliga Heating and Cooling or anyone who's in that business. Hey, check out everything you need to check out, and including the phone number, by going to SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. Thank you.
Big game, big screen, big energy at Ballpark Village, Sunday, February 8th. Enjoy the big game like you're in the end zone, featuring in-arena touchdown celebrations, band cams, contest VIP packages, and more, hosted by RDJ and DJ Dex. Save up to $10 on tickets with code KMOX. Tickets and event details at stlballparkvillage.com/events. For more information, KMOX.com/events.
So I'm a pretty well taken care of guy. I'm very fortunate. My family's good to me. The guys are good to me. Andrew just takes care of all of my needs here at the station. It's pretty great. And I like that when I'm making a purchase. Now, I'm not a diva. If I'm buying a pair of boots, I don't expect you to spend 3 hours with me or, tell me boot stories. But if I'm buying a house, I want a relationship. I want to feel good emotionally, practically, intellectually about my real estate agent. I want to feel a connection. I don't want to ever say to have you say to your spouse or a friend at work, man, I haven't heard from the Gelmans. I don't even know what's going on. Last I heard, I had an offer of $575 and I told him I wouldn't take less than $625. I don't know what's going on. That may happen with other real estate agents. It will never happen with the Gelmans. You can always call and get a hold of your real estate agent. You can always text them, but I never had to do that because my guy from Gelman just kept me up to date all the time. Great negotiators, got a great deal all 3 times I did something with them. I think you're going to like them, but you test them out. Interview them. If you don't like them, go with someone else. You can find out what your home is worth according to the Gelmans right now on the front page of thegelmanteam.com. Just put in your address. When you're ready to talk, 314-336-1991.
Certain restrictions apply.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The new era of UFC on Paramount Plus continues. Live from Australia. Featherweight champ Alexander Volkanovski.
He is an animal.
Defends his belt at home in an explosive rematch against Diego Lopez.
You gotta be kidding me!
And the always dangerous Dan Hooker.
Yes.
Throws down with powerhouse Benoit Saint-Denis in a high-action lightweight showdown.
There's never been anything like this. Let's go.
UFC 325, Saturday, January 31st, only on Paramount Plus.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 251. Good show so far. Appreciate that. Hopefully you guys are at home, cozied up. Man, I could have done one more day. I was pretty happy.
Me too.
Pretty cozy.
Yeah, I was a little bummed that it's like, oh, it's over? Gotta go back to work now?
But it's fun coming to work on days like today, too.
Yeah.
Because no one else is here.
That's right.
Boy.
I bet they feel stupid.
Pulling up to that empty garage this morning, I was like, ooh-wee, must be nice.
Did you drive Megan?
I did not. She's off today. So she
Good.
was, so she gets to stay at home.
I was afraid you're going to stick her with the bad car.
Oh, nice. That car is unbelievable in the snow.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is about it. So we were, obviously she parks on the street. So it got super plowed in by the plows. And so she's just looking at this mountain of snow. And I'm starting to shovel it, and then I say, like, you know what? I bet this thing can just punch through that snow. And she's like, there's absolutely no way. I'm like, do it. Try it. I'll be damned. Punch right through it. I don't know why that little Toyota Corolla is such a monster in the snow, but it does very well for itself.
The Pope has said he said, first of all, beware of affectionate bots. But then went on to say these shouldn't even be invented, and if they are, they should be banned. Like anything that you can have more than a friendship with is just, he didn't say this, but I'm guessing he's like, that's against God's plan. We may disagree religiously, but we agree on that, he and I, which I'm sure will make him feel great.
I'll let him know. We'll send him a text. He'll be like,
We got Glover.
We got that Glover guy. Now, if we can just get him to stop rooting for the Cardinals.
Also, there's a big fight going on. I don't know the last time you were at an upscale hotel, but evidently the move now is to no longer have bathroom doors.
Oh, yes.
You either have like a frosted sliding door or beads or no door at all, baby. You're just out there.
Because everyone knows when you're on a romantic trip with your spouse and it's time to go number 2.
That's right.
No door is the way to go. That's not going to kill the whole weekend.
The closest thing I have come to an upscale hotel, and I don't really know if this counts, but when I went to my brother's wedding in Los Angeles, we stayed at a kind of fancy, like a historic hotel called the Pasadena Hotel. And in that hotel, the bathroom was like glass walled, and then it had a frosted door and a frosted, like, the shower was, like, very thinly frosted.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, not everybody who's sharing a hotel room is, like, a married couple or whatever, or, like, a couple in a relationship or whatever. Like,
yeah, and, like,
a lot of no privacy.
Call me old-fashioned. I like to keep my bathroom experience quite separate from my significant other.
Yeah.
I'm a door-closed type of gal.
It's not unreasonable to think that, like, one day Wheeler and I could share a hotel room, and that glass frosting...
It's not likely to be a high-end hotel, though.
He's thinking about it. He's been thinking about it.
I've been thinking about...
It just got hotter.
I've been thinking about who I would really like to share a hotel room with. And Kevin keeps coming up to the top of the list.
There was a restaurant I used to like a lot called, what was it called, Rach? Down with the motorcycles?
Triumph
Grill. And their bathroom was one of those both sexes, or all sexes. So there are stalls, nothing but stalls, no urinals, so you can do your business. But then you wash your hands at the same sink right next to the stalls and just, dropping a deuce next to, just like, a little too close for comfort.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey, and I think right now we all need something to look forward to, and a nice little getaway is going to do it for me. So I've been looking at this 5-day Arizona trip that I planned in September, and to me, it sounds absolutely perfect, and I would love for you to join me. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to stay in Flagstaff because that means cooler temperatures. It's a great home base, and from there, we're going to visit Sedona, the Grand Canyon, and Lake Powell all in one trip. I'm talking about red rocks, big views, and that deep blue water at Lake Powell hotel that looks like a postcard. I'm told September is one of the best times to go with fewer crowds, more comfortable weather, and everything's going to be planned out for us. We just show up. If this sounds like something you'd like to do, please join me because I have always wanted to go to the Grand Canyon. Travelwithdebbie.net. That's travelwithdebbie.net or call Cruise and Tour at 800-383-3131. Space is limited, so don't delay. 800-383-3131. Travelwithdebbie.net.
Tell you guys about Neovitin. I think you know about Neovitin if you listen to the show. It is a locally created, made in the U.S., which is important because of the regulations. It's next to many Chinese products, and just because something's from China doesn't mean it's subpar, but it does mean that they don't have regulations. So you hope that it has all the things that it says that it has. With Neovitin, you know that it does. 20 ingredients, vitamins, antioxidants, omega-3 fish oils. I don't like taking big pills. I never have, actually, but the older I get, the less I like it. And these are very easy to swallow. No problem there. You take 2 pills a day. Cost less than $1 a day. A portion of that, the proceeds of every bottle are going to go to cancer research in honor of our founder, Dr. Ken Ribicki, my doctor and my very good friend going back all those years. If you would like to buy it locally, do it right off the shelves at Schnucks and Deerbergs or online at neovitin.com.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
This is it, the last call for football on FanDuel. One final Sunday, one last kickoff, and the final chance to place your bets before the NFL season comes to an end. Super Bowl 60. And FanDuel is making sure you're in on it. If you're a new customer, bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. So whether you're backing the favorite, going with the underdog, you're building one last same-game parlay, this is the time to make it count. Because after the Super Bowl, the season is over and football is officially done. So last call for football on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. FanDuel.com/Missouri and get started now. 21 and over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 3 o'clock, sunny skies, 17 downtown at the Gateway Arch. Good afternoon. I'm Scott Jagow. Our top story this hour, the White House tries to distance President Trump from comments about the weekend ICE shooting made by members of his administration. The deputy chief of staff, for example, called Alex Preddy an assassin, while Homeland Security's Kristi Noem called him a domestic terrorist. Today, the press secretary stressed that Trump never actually used those words. Illinois Senator Dick Durbin says Noem needs to be held accountable for all of this, along with the president. Here's Chicago political editor Jeff Buchholz.
Senator Durbin says ICE agents have been unpredictable and have operated outside the Constitution.
What they have done in Chicago and Minnesota and other places is to terrorize a population of innocent people.
And the ranking Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee says when he and colleagues wanted to ask Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem about immigration enforcement last year, she refused to appear.
It's the first time in modern memory that the head of the department would not be held accountable questioned by colleagues in the Senate.
The senator says he plans to ask the committee this week to issue a subpoena compelling Secretary Noem to testify about agents' actions.
If she refuses to come before the committee, she should be replaced.
It's not clear whether that would succeed in a committee controlled by Republicans.
The city of St. Louis says it's been out working, plowing streets all weekend. What do the next 24 hours entail?
Streets Director James Jackson says the focus remains the main routes, secondary, and hill routes while they make their way towards residential. However, he says they cannot plow their way down to the pavement due to speed humps and steel plates. So what does clear that last inch of snow? Salt.
Our focus is on making sure we get as much out as we can, and we're going to continue to salt up until about 5 p.m. this evening, because what we don't want to have happen is we don't want to have this agent out creating liquid that turns into ice after 7, 8, 9 p.m.
The city says they will not be making salt available at firehouses for the rest of this snow event, as they need to make tweaks to their pilot program to ensure people aren't taking advantage of it. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
It's time now for an update of the St. Louis Business Index. Here's Stifel's Senior Vice President of Investments, Scott Bedell.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Major market indexes started the new week largely to the upside. At the closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 313 points, or just about 0.2% to 49,412. The Standard & Poor's 500 index gained 0.5% to 6,950, while the Nasdaq Composite Index added 0.4% to 23,601. Closer to home, the Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index was higher by 0.3% to 1,683. Helping that index to move higher, Bayer Corporation up 4% at $13.64. Energizer gained just a little less than 6% at $20.91. Stifel Financial added 0.4% at $128.82. On the downside, Boeing slipped 1.5% at $248.43, while Peabody Energy fell 6% to close at $35.72. This has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. For more information on our firm, please visit our website at stifel.com.
Thank you, Scott. Now an update on the cold.
It's all about sunshine this afternoon, but it's also about that deep Arctic surge from the north. Bitter cold temperatures all afternoon. 16 for the high, wind chills 0 or below for the most part. Tonight, crystal clear skies. 6 for the overnight low. On Tuesday, sunny skies, 31 for the high. Tuesday probably being the warmest day of the week. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Thank you, Dave. We are right at 16 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Scott Jagow, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DG Ask Funerals past 3 p.m. I got my Oprah readers on, which means I'm serious now. So
now's when the show begins.
I just ran by my boss's office, and he was like, hey, a couple of notes. Great hour. Great rant. You might not want to call Kash Patel a piece of crap, and you may not want to tell Kristi Noem to F off. And I'm like, hey, I'm not Bob Costas. Dave's got rough edges.
Yeah.
I don't know. Costas gets after it every once in a while.
Remember that first time when he went off on Trump with us?
He does not hold back.
Remember when he said that thing about the guy's like ancestors after the bad pitching?
No.
What
was that?
Somebody gave like a really bad pitching performance, and as he was walking off the field, he said something like the guy kind of like did one of these towards the sky or whatever, and Bob was like, one can only hope that he is asking for forgiveness from his ancestors for that performance, and people were like, "Oh my god,
That's actually pretty funny.
That's really funny.
extremely funny." But everybody was like, "Dang, dude,
Yeah, it is pretty mean, but it's funny.
Okay,
it's brutal."
We don't exactly have fully formed breaking news, but we have some reports that are interesting. Rage, Kev, just between the two of you, we cover this?
Yeah, CNN is reporting that top Border Patrol official Gregory Bovino and some of his agents are expected to leave Minneapolis and go home, basically. I'm only seeing reports from like individual journalists. I'm not seeing any sort of confirmation from DHS or anything like that.
And Kev, I love what you said about Trump said he hasn't liked the coverage.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think that was a quote, but that was part of the story that they're leaving, and part of the reason was that that with Bovino and Noem, they were unhappy with how they handled the fallout from the shooting. And again, this is just a line. This is not his quote, so I want to be clear. This is not something the president said out loud that I'm aware of, but it said that he was apparently unhappy with the coverage and with how their responses got reaction after the fact. It doesn't say anything about being unhappy with what unfolded, which is what I would hope the president would be upset about.
Yeah, the only thing I saw that he actually said yesterday was that he thought the gun itself was dangerous and unpredictable. So all guns are dangerous.
Especially when they're in your hand.
I will give him the benefit of the doubt and think that he was talking about bringing a gun to a protest, maybe. And, intelligent minds can agree or disagree about that. But there's what's intelligent and there's what's legal.
Yeah.
And this happens to be covered by your beloved Second Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
And Bovino himself told Dana Bash, because I was watching the whole thing live and I ran it back twice, that he has shown up to protest armed and gone right up to cops and talked to them while he was carrying the whole bit. Kash Patel says that there's no Second Amendment right when you go to a protest, which is completely wrong.
Absolute.
So this is just like a cluster by the administration across the board. Across the board.
Well, it's
total unforced errors.
I'm sorry it's going to sound mean. Okay, this is mean what I'm about to say. This is the problem that comes up when you hire people that are just ass kissers. They're not smart enough. You can find intelligent people who know what they're doing that also agree with your agenda.
Yes.
These are not those people.
No.
They are not qualified for their positions. I'll hold back on Bovino's qualifications because I don't know what his background is completely beyond this. But I know that Kristi Noem is in over her head, and I know that Kash Patel is in over his head. He was a podcaster 5 years ago. And that's not to say that there aren't smart podcasters. There clearly are. But he had never done anything like this before. And the same thing with Bongino. And now that's why, I remember Bongino's, ooh, this is harder than I thought. Well, it should be hard
I'm
running the
my
FBI.
wife till 7 p.m.
It should be hard to run the FBI. It's a hard job, bro. I mean, when you're picking people solely out of loyalty and not after qualifications and loyalty, like qualifications first, somebody who knows how to do it. And then, of course, from that group, find someone you think will uphold your policies while also following the law and the Constitution.
Just a couple of things to add here, because I'm sorry, I don't remember if we talked about this on or off the air, but the president wrote on Truth Social that he and Tim Walz seem to be on a similar wavelength. And then Tim Walz has come out and said that Trump has agreed to consider reducing the number of federal agents in Minnesota. So,
like we talked about an hour or so ago, Wheels was talking about it, and I had said that Obama deported 3 million people, and none of us remember it because they did it in a sane way. What's going on now is insane to the point that Americans are being shot dead in the streets, and the ICE agents are clapping and calling them names. That's not okay. That's not okay.
I mean, we have a Fourth Amendment.
I'm glad you've shut down the border. It needed to be shut down. Biden's immigration policies were ridiculous. I don't think that people should be able to come here illegally. I think that you should have consequences if you come here illegally. But what's going on now is insanity. Yeah. Insanity. It's just... It's
more... The punishments and the actions are beyond what the law calls for. What do you get for committing any of these crimes? What's the penalty for being an illegal immigrant? It's not something you get imprisoned for. You get sent home. Right?
Basically.
Right. So you don't go to prison for 20 years for jumping the border. You get sent back to where you came from. You get deported. And you don't get to stomp on other people's rights in the process of chasing down criminals of any kind.
Yeah.
Whether they're illegals or murderers or bank robbers or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't bash down my door because you think a bank robber might be hiding in my house. Not unless you saw him go in or you have a warrant.
You know, another
and a
thing,
judicial warrant, by the way, not an administrative one that you wrote up after the fact.
Rach is the only person I've heard say this, and I'm a little ashamed because when I was giving my analysis of the videos that everyone saw over the weekend of Alex Preddy shooting, I said he is standing in the middle of the road with a camera and using his other hand to direct traffic. And then he sees this lady get double hand shoved like 10 feet back and lands, flat on her ass. And he goes to help her. And then I moved on with my analysis. Didn't deal with the lady at all. And Rachel's like, why is it okay to just double hand shove an American citizen who's standing off the roadway? I said, I guess she said something that pissed him off. And she's like, can you do that?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm in downtown St. Louis and I'm talking to a police officer, what is the scenario in which it's okay for them to approach me and shove me?
It's a great question.
When is that? When is that within the guidebook of what's supposed to happen?
Great question.
It's a genuine question.
Yeah, it's a great question.
If there's an answer to that question, I would love to hear it. It's just, we've kind of glossed over the fact that they were shoving this lady in the first place. Like, why was that happening? Was she being detained? And when you're detaining someone, do you begin by shoving them away from you? That doesn't seem efficient.
Well, Wheels, at least we have one voice of reason out there.
It's not the one you would have expected.
Nope.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is acting as the voice of reason in this issue from the right. And look, I don't know if she's backed away from all the QAnon stuff or not. I hope, but it doesn't sound like it completely because that's the part of her that made her a little bit nutty. But even she came out after this and she just basically said, look, this is not what we're about. I believe in the Second Amendment. And it's really interesting to get it from that perspective, given the recent split, right? And the fact that she has stepped down from Congress and she's been feuding with the president. But she said, I unapologetically believe in border security and deporting criminal illegal aliens, and I support law enforcement. However, I also unapologetically support the Second Amendment. Legally carrying a firearm is not the same as brandishing a firearm. I support Americans' First and Fourth Amendment rights as well. There is nothing wrong with legally, peacefully protesting and videoing. I mean,
you know who we need to weigh in? We need Second Amendment champion and St. Louisan Mark McCluskey. We need his opinion on this because he was out there brandishing.
Sure was.
And nobody shot him.
No.
So, I mean, do we support Mark McCluskey, guys? Do we, like what's going on? Because there are a lot of folks rallying around him whenever he and his wife got their guns taken away.
Yeah. Just imagine, and you know me, I hate the just imagine argument because we get it so much from the right. But just imagine if roles were reversed, that this is during the Biden administration and there's a crackdown on protests in favor of Trump or against illegal immigration, whatever it happens to be, just the polar opposite. And some conservative shows up with a concealed carry permit and a concealed carry gun to utilize their First Amendment right to protest and free speech and gets maced, taken to the ground, beaten up for about 10 seconds, their gun taken away from them, and then shot 9 times while they're on their knees. I think there'd be a different reaction from the right. And that's sad. There shouldn't be. There should not be.
I mean, we saw the reaction to what happened on January 6th. I think there were like a dozen people there that were charged and convicted of having firearms as a part of what happened on January 6th, and they got pardoned. And people were defending them. How do you defend one and condemn the other? I mean, do you not have a logical standard in your head, or is it just my team always wins? that's what it is right now in our world. My team is all that matters. The law doesn't matter. The Constitution doesn't matter. I just want to win. And I just wish any of these people had the balls to just say it out loud and admit it. That I don't care about the Constitution. I don't care about the law. I just care that I win. Because that's what it is.
I don't even, I'm sure that some people, I think for a lot of folks, though, they don't want to admit that this is possible. They don't want to see the truth because the truth is too uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to admit that your government is lying to you. That sucks. Nobody in this room wants this to be happening, right?
Nope.
That's why we watch the videos and we go like, okay, so what really happened? I need to see what really happened so I can make my own decisions on what went on here. Because what I'm not going to do is just immediately accept someone else's narrative. I have to decide for myself. I don't want to live in a country that does things like this. I don't want to live in a place where the Department of Homeland Security calls you a terrorist after they execute you in the street. No investigation, just, hey, we know what you were trying to do. We know who you are. You're a terrorist, American citizen. You are a terrorist.
And again,
I don't want that to happen. This is not ideal.
I said it before, but I'll say it again. Kristi Noem, shame on you. How dare you, within minutes of this, say that this guy was clearly had it in his head to commit a massacre on law enforcement. So any conservative that shows up anywhere to any sort of a protest with a gun has in their head, I'm going to kill as many cops as I can. That's ludicrous. And then she was out within minutes because I'm at home during a snowstorm. I'm watching the whole thing happen live all the way across. And within minutes, she said that this guy approached law enforcement with a 9mm gun. And I said to myself, because I was alone at the time, I said, oh, well, there goes that. You don't get to walk up on cops with a drawn 9mm and come out of it, in one piece very often. How dare she say that when there was video evidence available at that time to her that completely contradicted it? Completely. It's not even close. There are some videos of these things you see, like when we talked about the Renee Good, where you go, well, on this side of the argument is this, and on this side of the argument is that. I don't see much on that side of the argument. I've heard that some of my colleagues on the conservative side have justified it by the fact that he was in the middle of the street. I wouldn't be in the middle of the street. Maybe I'm a puss. Maybe I have too much respect for law enforcement.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be there, but I don't think that standing in the middle of the street documenting what's going on should be a death sentence.
No, but that's also like, do you also then take the position that the guy who shot Renee Good shouldn't have stood in front of a car? I mean, if we're just evaluating potentially dangerous decisions, okay, that's not what we're evaluating.
But is it
we're
against
talking
the
about
law
the
to
law.
stand in the street?
That's
Yeah.
right. We're talking about the law. We're not talking about what you might think is common sense. So if you can't make the same logical argument in both scenarios. So if you're saying Preddy did something he shouldn't have done, okay.
Does
then
that
same
equal
thing.
death?
Then that right. The penalty for that is not 10 bullets. And the penalty for that is maybe you get arrested and you get to go through the legal process. They present evidence. There are charges. You defend yourself, and then there's a verdict. That's how it plays out. You don't get shot 10 times because you said words or because you came to the aid of a woman that got shoved to the ground.
Guys, we have an update. The Department of Homeland Security says it is not accurate that CBP agents deployed to Minneapolis are being sent home.
Okay. False alarm. Let me tell you guys about Universal Windows Direct. They have a really, really great deal. And I totally understand that it doesn't matter if they were giving them away and paying you $50 for every window you took. If they're terrible windows and just going to cost you thousands of dollars more right down the road, then ignore them. So you have to believe me enough, at least, to give them a call that the windows are great and the warranties are great and the guarantees are great. And then you can listen to the offer. Right now, this month, the offer is buy 4 windows, get 4 windows for free, which I don't know how many windows are in a house, but it seems like pretty close to a house. 60 months of 0% interest financing, so 5 years before you pay a penny of interest, plus $1,000 off your entire project, plus a free vacation voucher through Destination Motivation with every purchase. If you want to have them out to the house or at least just get more information, call 314-334-2522, or you can get all of that online at universalwindowsdirect.com.
What's up, world? It's Von Miller, Super Bowl MVP, chicken farmer, and now host of Free Range. This is a show where I go off the field and off the script. We're talking what's hot in music, film, trending news, and everything blowing up your feed. If you love football, you'll feel at home. But if you're here for the vibes, the internet deep dives, the conversation, this is your podcast. Join me every Wednesday. Follow and listen to Free Range with me, Von Miller, everywhere you get your podcasts.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on a Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder, now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business? Ah.
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more, so you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making Genesis of St. Charles your most trusted and #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2026. We know your time is valuable. That's why every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis Service Valet. Unlock your e-price and save. That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. Or want something new? We'll bring the test drive to you. Visit genesisofstcharles.com today. Based on GMA sales records for 2025. See dealer for details.
Hey, St. Louis City SC fans, mark your calendars now. The Boys in Red return to Energizer Park to kick off Season 4 Saturday, February 21st. And you could be there for the dawn of a new golden era of St. Louis soccer. Go to stlcitysc.com/tickets and reserve your seat now for the MLS home opener versus Charlotte FC. Limited quantities remain. See you soon, St. Louis.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. If you need to sell your home to buy a new one, it's never been more important to have an experienced negotiator that you can trust. You need my friends Mark and Neil Gelman on your side. 314-336-1991. Go to thegelmanteam.com.
Hello, I'm John Rooney. Congratulations to KMOX on 100 years strong. Truly making KMOX the voice of St. Louis.
Welcome back, DGS 324. Kev, you have a list of things that are perfectly legal, but people hate when you do it?
Oh, my God. Yeah, you want to run through a few of these?
Conceal carry.
What's that?
I said conceal carry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let's move on.
It's the way it was phrased is it's technically allowed, but everybody hates you when you do it. So there are a few examples of it that you'll think. Like one is something we talked about, I think, a week or two ago, playing your music or being on speakerphone in public. Like nobody wants to hear your music, nobody wants to hear your conversation, so things like that. So a couple of other things would be, there's a list of too many. I'm not going to go through all of them, but there are a few that bother me. The people that stand up on the plane and push their way forward and don't wait their turn would be one. They should all be arrested. At least wait for your aisle. Like if you want to stand because your legs are tired or stiff or whatever, that's fine. Just don't start cheating your way up like you're in some giant hurry. Unless we have a situation where, you're like, there are flights and all that are like close, like, what do you call it? Connecting flights.
Yeah.
In that case, the flight crew should be saying, hey, if you have a connecting flight, you go first and go.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, right?
I would even like it if every time you landed, if the crew knows that there are connecting flights, they say, if you have a connecting flight, please stand up and exit now.
Right.
Like, that would make sense
It's
to me.
totally fine.
What do you think it says about human behaviors that every flight we've ever been on, it happens?
We're all impatient idiots. I mean, like, I don't know what you gain. You're saving how many minutes?
I think it's
What are you saving? 2 minutes? 3 minutes?
Well, I think it also is it's like low social trust. Like, man, if I wait for everyone else to get their bag, it's going to take forever. So I better just take care of myself real quick.
Yeah. So that's on the list. And one that's similar to that is not letting people get off the bus or the train or whatever before you try to get on. Or the elevator would be another one. Like,
I
let
have been
people
guilty
out.
of that. I've been guilty of that.
Dave, don't do that.
Yeah, well, I did it like I move through life so fast, and when an elevator opens, I'm starting to walk in before anything. Yeah, so
just making everybody's lives harder, including your own.
I know.
Yeah, I've never seen this one. Somebody listed this. I don't think I've ever seen this. So people who walk in and will face the back of the elevator instead of turning around to face the door.
I've never seen that.
Have you ever seen that?
Not
I have
once.
literally never seen anybody do that.
What are you, parking and then backing out? Like,
Yeah.
what is it? What is that?
I don't
Given
understand
the
that.
nature of the world, if someone came in and went Blair Witch on me, I
Yeah.
would be like, oh, God,
Yeah.
this is gonna...
The other, so another one is cutting in line even when that's technically allowed, like at a buffet. Like, there's no real order to the buffet, but people really will look down on you, and I will definitely shame you if you don't get in line and wait your turn.
But I want my bourbon chicken. And it's right there.
Clipping your nails in a public space
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
would be a no. There's a whole long line of these, but those are probably the best ones.
Football season fades into memory. Winter tightens its grip. And then, from somewhere beyond the gray, a sound breaks through. Pitchers and catchers report. Baseball takes back center stage. Hope returns, guiding you through it all. Kevin Wheeler, Matt Pauley, Bernie Miklasz, and suddenly your rush hour sucks a little less. Rush Hour Sports, weeknights at 5 on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
When life happens and you need to sell your St. Louis area home, call trusted realtor Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria is St. Louis's real estate expert with more than 22 years of experience and expertise, helping you sell quickly and for the most money.
Selling your home can be so stressful, especially when life happens, like a sudden job change, a passing of a loved one, or a growing family. Knowing exactly how much your home will sell in today's market is the first step. Then I back it up with an upfront written guarantee. My guarantee is simple and easy to understand. If I can't sell your home at our agreed upon price and time frame, I'll buy it myself.
When life happens, the name to remember is Gloria Liu, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I strongly suggest you call her right now at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Unlock a brighter outdoor space in 2026 with Chesterfield Valley Nursery. Let us be your trusted partner for all your landscaping, lawn, and gardening needs, empowering you to create a haven that brings joy and serenity to your life. From landscape design to property maintenance to our garden center, we're here for you. Houseplants, tree shrubs, organic soil mixes, gardening and plant classes, and more. Chesterfield Valley Nursery's Garden Center has what you need no matter what the season. Visit us weekdays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday hours start in March. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram for all class and sale updates.
When it comes to lighting, Graybar goes beyond parts and products. We help contractors turn plans into smart designs, manage kitting and deliverables, and navigate local codes so you can stay on time and on budget. Smart, scalable, job site ready. That's not just lighting. That's like kicking your project into Graybar mode. Yep, Graybar does that.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, it's not bad out there this afternoon. The highways, MoDOT and IDOT make progress. They're partly to mostly clear now, so there's still some issues. In fact, I'm looking at one. The flatbed tow truck just pulled up for this crash, northbound 55 at McNutt. Left lane's blocked, so northbound 55 has a short delay coming through McNutt. Like I said, there's not a lot of volume on these highways because so many folks stayed home this morning. They just cleared a car. There was off the roadway into a ditch westbound 70 near David Hochul Parkway. There's still a backup from about Wentzville Parkway out to that one. Eastbound 364 on the exit to Mid Rivers, that exit ramp shut down because of an injury crash. Westbound 364 at Youngerman, we have a MoDOT plow truck that's broke down. They're blocking the left lane for that one right now. And on the Illinois side, it looks like a lot of these interchanges, ramps may be a little icy, so be careful. We're talking about 55, 70, and 64 just east of the bridges, 64 at 255, 70, 55, 70 at 270, and 270 at 255. Again, those ramps look a little icy, maybe some slower traffic in those interchanges. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plate. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
John Pertzborn here, and I've come to respect the good works of Hardy's Rise and Shine for Heat benefit, supporting heatupstlouis.org, where 100% of the proceeds help families and seniors with Missouri and Illinois utilities. It's Friday, February 13th, your lucky day. Volunteer now or pre-order sacks of sausage or egg biscuits only at heatupstlouis.org. Put the biscuits down, gentry.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-284-1238. 800-284-1238. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-284-1238.
Rush Hour Sports, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here.
Bernie Miklasz joins Rush Hour Sports tonight at 5 on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
David.
Dave Murray's weather forecast is sponsored by S&L Coins.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 334. Happy Monday. Dave Murray is here from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk. Hello, Dave.
Hello there.
Well, that happened.
Man.
Yep.
That sure happened.
Just right. You know what? And I rarely go back and look at the winter forecast or the seasonal forecast. I put them out. I know what's there. But a couple of people brought it up to me that we nailed the storm back in November.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Big snow, big cold.
Dave,
one event in January.
Dave, what did you mean last week? You're getting kind of agitated, and you said
me
that other meteorologists are just watching the computer models, and that is not forecasting. Like, what do you do?
I don't say certainly not all of them.
Right.
Certainly not all of them. You have to use your experience. You have to use your knowledge. And you have to look at what's going on right now in the atmosphere and kind of project that out in your head or on paper, however you want to do it. You just don't say, oh, look, here. Oops.
Uh-oh, David,
turned your mic off.
Mic got knocked out.
Nope.
Big weather got him.
Still out.
Yeah.
Nope,
Yeah,
still
still
out.
out.
Those other weather guys are like, shut up, Dave.
Yeah, this is their time to pile on.
He's gonna come back with a
Still
total.
broken.
He's gonna come back with a totally different voice. Those other meteorologists are brilliant. They do everything right.
There we go. That's
There
it.
we go.
There we
There we
go.
go.
That's it. No, there are some great forecasters, and they're forecasters. What a true forecaster does is put their forecast together without looking at the models. Then you look at the models, and sometimes you can instantly say, okay, well, that model's got garbage in it, so I'm not even going to look at it. That it has initialized wrong, bad data, whatever the case. And then you kind of go looking for a model that kind of supports your decision making. And then you can either say, nah, don't buy it, don't like that model, don't like this model, whatever the case. But you better have your forecast in your head before you go do that. Otherwise, you start looking at these things, and there's so many to look at, that your forecast gets thrown out in your head. It gets all marbled up.
Yeah.
And then it gets you confused.
Yeah.
And you have to stay. And that's one of the reasons why I do not like to make a super, like 3, 4, 5 days out in advance on a snowstorm like this, because that's all you're looking at. If you're going to do that, all you're looking at are the model numbers. It doesn't work. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, you know what's getting lost in all of this is the cold. Because we're just
It is.
so focused on, 11 inches of snow that it's like,
Yep.
yeah, it's butt-ass cold out there.
Yeah, and that's we were trying to do that last week, especially on Friday, saying, hey, this is a two-parter. This is all about cold, which is already in place, and getting colder, and then the snow. And it was kind of a rare treat for St. Louis to get a southern storm, a southwest storm, with the cold air locked in place and the cold air heavy enough to keep that storm to the south. So we were snow the entire time.
Who really got shellacked nationally?
Nationally, you go there. You have to look through Tennessee. Tennessee got hammered with ice and sleet, just hammered. That's where a lot of the power outages are. The Northeast, New York City got over a foot of snow. Boston got 15 inches of snow. Stuff like that. I mean, that's. But you know what? Officially we're 8.2, but the numbers were about 8 to 10 across the area. We got hammered. That's a good snow.
So if this has happened to me back during that ice storm where I damaged Maureen's vehicle because I overreacted, but if it's -6 wind chill and your power goes out for a couple of days, aren't your pipes going to bust?
Wind chill is just the effect of wind and temperature on your skin, on human skin.
Okay.
It's
I
not.
didn't know that.
It's not a number for your engine block. It's not a number for your pipes, or whatever the case may be.
Good info.
So with that, you look at the temperature, and yeah, if you lose power and we're getting down to 0 or below at night, and we're only getting up into the teens during the day, your house is going to cool back into the 40s almost instantly. And then you continue to drop. It will steady out a little bit because it's a house.
Yeah.
You're somewhat protected. But
Yeah.
yes, yeah. Especially if you're not well insulated in your house.
So tomorrow gets a little more livable, right?
Yes, the northwest flow is alive and well. We have another cold front on the way. It comes through primarily, let's say, mid-afternoon on Tuesday. What's going to happen tonight is we're going to get down to 6 degrees. That's about midnight. And then we're actually going to see the temperature rise. And we should be about 16 by morning. And then lots of sunshine tomorrow, 31 degrees. How about that? Now, if we didn't have the snowpack, we would be much warmer than that. The snowpack is going to keep us down.
Yeah.
But 31 sounds pretty good anyway. The front comes through late in the day, most likely dry. Cold on Tuesday night, going down to 0. Wednesday, sunny skies. Another front starts to press in. So we're going to pop up a little bit, about 29 degrees on Wednesday. Cold front comes through late Wednesday. We go down to 9 Wednesday night. Thursday, clouds, some sun. It's really cold Thursday. 20 for the high. Friday is partly sunny, and 15 for the high. Cold will stay with us right through the weekend. No big storms in sight. Got that going for us.
Okay. Headlines, Rach?
Headlines is brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily with the Schnucks Rewards app. Dave Murray was just telling us about this winter storm. Well, it has snarled U.S. travel and forced mass flight cancellations. I'm sure that's a surprise to no one, but about 3,900 flights were canceled and more than 1,500 were delayed as of this morning. And they're saying there's probably more to come. Over 11,000 flights were scrapped on Sunday.
Did you? That ties into what you just said, Rach, the news story. But Dave, I saw this thing that somebody's saying there's like a hurricane-force blizzard off the East Coast. Is that real?
What happened with our southwest storm came by to our south. It moves off to the northeast, so it's kind of moving into upstate New York. But another storm, a nor'easter, forms right off the mid-Atlantic coast. Very common in these kind of things. And that thing's out over the ocean. So, yeah, it wraps up pretty good. And that's the main reason why New England got about 15 inches of snow.
Ugh.
But, yeah, that's a mean one.
Speaking of flights, what a horrible story. 7 people were killed in a plane crash in Maine. This was a private plane that crashed in Bangor, Maine last night. There was an 8th person on the flight, a crew member who was seriously injured. So they haven't released the identities of anyone. And they also haven't said what the cause of the crash was. But, we were facing all of these weather problems. So if I had to guess, I'm sure that's factoring in for sure. But yeah, very, very sad stuff. I would, no matter how much money I had and how much I didn't care about the environment, I don't know if I would ever go on a private plane because those seem to be the ones that are crashing all the time. These little crafts. So scary stuff.
I've only done it once or twice on a private plane. If you get the opportunity, do it.
It's pretty sweet.
Wait, you've done it on a private plane?
He's a Murray.
No, I haven't got that. But.
He's a Murray. Of course he has. He's probably doing it now.
That's why you can't see my waist.
I don't think I've ever seen your waist. Wait, I saw it one time and I regretted it.
Change the segment to weather and
more.
But
it was a good time.
Oh, boy, where do we go from here?
I don't know. It's your responsibility, though.
3 Las Vegas hotels are now accepting Canadian money at par. Circa Resort and Casino, the D Las Vegas, and the Golden Gate Hotel and Casino are going to participate in the at par program until August 31st. And the goal is to remove financial barriers for Canadians who want to travel to Vegas. So that's kind of cool.
Nice job, E.
Don't have to do the whole currency exchange thing. Saves a step. And let's do one more story here. The New York Post is going West Coast. The California Post launched today. It's a new tabloid newspaper and news site that's going to bring the same cheeky commentary of the Big Apple to the West Coast.
Okay. All right.
All righty then.
All right. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.
You got it.
Tell you guys about Zero Res. You know the deal. They give you a DGS deal every single month. Sort of like Universal Windows Direct. I'm very impressed that Zero Res has came right out of the 2026 gates by giving what could be the best deal all year, usually around the holidays. This last Christmas, they gave a similar deal. So you might have to wait until, the end of this year to get as good a deal. Now we're talking tens of dollars, so it's not, like going to make you or break you either way. But when you get a good deal, I like to let you guys know that. During the month of January, you could get 3 rooms of wall-to-wall carpeting, clean, starting at $119 plus a free hallway. Hopefully you have a long hallway in your house. You can take advantage of that. Plus 15% off air duct services, dryer vents, upholstery, like your couches and chairs, area rugs, tile, hardwood. I can vouch for the company. They've been with me for 15 plus years. They've been at my home any number of times. They've taken care of pretty much every friend and family member I have. They are great. They are the real deal. They are professional and courteous. They work their little butts off. And with the 30-day Gotta Love It guarantee, if after everything I've said and everything they do, they leave you wanting for more, your carpets don't look as good as you thought they would, call them, let them know, and they'll come out in 30 days and they'll clean it again. 314-474-2020, 0res, STL.com.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, traffic's doing pretty well around the area because it's light volume today because of the weather. And not a lot of folks went into work this morning, so not a lot of folks are heading home this afternoon. This traffic reports the service of the Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. As a matter of fact, in the last 5 minutes, they cleared that crash northbound 55 at Highway A. Lanes are back open, no delays. In fact, there are no delays on 55 either way between the Poplar Street Bridge and 67 down in Festus. 270 looks great from Page all the way down to 55. Westbound 64, a little slowdown at Kings Highway, really no big deal. Otherwise, it's good out to 70. Still seeing some slow traffic westbound 70 west of Wentzville Park now through David Holcomb Parkway. That's where we had a car that was stranded in a snowbank, and they had the lane shut down and a jam there 10, 15 minutes ago, but now it's just a slowdown. McKinley Bridge westbound a little backed up, 44 around the Poplars a little heavy. And again, on the Illinois side, 64 at 255, 64 and 70 at the interchange, 55, 70 at 255. These interchanges a little slow, ramps may be icy. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. We're partners committed to you, your business, and your community. From family law to litigation, we're ready to serve. Visit SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Big game, big screen, big energy at Ballpark Village, Sunday, February 8th. Enjoy the big game like you're in the end zone, featuring in-arena touchdown celebrations, band cams, contest VIP packages, and more, hosted by RDJ and DJ Dex. Save up to $10 on tickets with code KMOX. Tickets and event details at STLBallparkVillage.com/events. For more information, KMOX.com/events.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fira Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at Amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Guys, let me take a chance here to explain 213 Complex for you. You can pick it up at supplement superstores. The simple description is it's the most effective all-natural weight loss supplement on the market at this point. And, you know, if you're one of the people that's trying to make a change in the new year and you're, you know, like for me, I'm not big on resolutions, but I am big on following a plan. And I have been now for a couple of years. And I'm fighting this battle of trying to like lose fat and gain muscle at the same time. And 213 Complex really helps with that because I'm not going to notice it as much on the scale because I'm lifting and I'm trying to gain weight. What I notice when it comes to reaching goals is how my clothes fit. Do they fit differently? Does my belt come in a little tighter? And that's the first thing I can tell you about 213 Complex is you'll start to see results pretty quick. First thing it does for you and what it's doing for me is getting the metabolism working, right? Most of us work below optimal levels, but 213 Complex gets you fired up, gets your thyroid working the way that it's supposed to. That's what regulates your metabolism. You get all-day focused energy, which is great. You don't want to crash at the end of the day. You definitely still have it in you to get your kids to the practices and still get a workout in and all of that. And it helps fight cravings, which is a big deal, right? A big part of this is making good decisions, eating on a plan, not giving in to cravings. And that's it. It's that assistant. It's not going to do the work for you. You have to do it, but it really makes it a lot easier, at least from my own personal experience. So do this. Go to Supplement Superstores, tell them what you want, tell them what you're looking for, and then tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you in, and they'll knock 30% off 213 Complex. You can find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
Welcome back, DGS. Happy Monday. Covered a lot of ground today. I would encourage you, if you're just tuning in, to go back and podcast this one. Really good show. Very honest. Lots of back and forth with the listeners. I have a ruling, and I have the feeling I'm the bad guy. Okay? So as a preview, as a preamble, my daughter Phoebe is getting her minor in ASL, sign language for deaf people. Very proud of that. She has a heart for it. That's great. However, I went to watch The Pit last night on HBO Max, my beloved Pit. And there's a lady in the right lower corner doing ASL. And it started with rock music, and she's just rocking out. And I'm like, well, okay, let's see where this goes. And if it's a normal size screen, she's about 8 inches tall. So she's not little, because you got to be able to see her, right? And I'm like, okay, good for them. That's great. Bringing the deaf audience in. But I need to find out how to get rid of this. And so I Googled it, and I'm trying everything, and I'm closed caption, and I'm this and this, and I can't make it go away. And it seems at least Dave can't make it go away. Maybe you can. And it bothered me so much I stopped watching it halfway through. And I feel kind of bad. It's not like I punched a deaf person, but like you have closed captioning. Deaf people can read. And I just don't understand, like, it seems like trying to do a good thing in a way that just kind of screws it up. But I think I'm a bad guy. So
You're not a bad guy, but I did just do a little Googling, as I'm wont to do.
Operator error?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So this is just like one version that is being offered, and somehow yours got stuck on that. I don't think you're bad for like being heavily distracted by it and having it take you out of the plot of the show. I don't think that makes you a bad person.
Yeah, it would be borderline impossible to not be incredibly distracted by a person, moving as rapidly and, moving their hands and stuff. It's very distracting, but that's the good news, is that it's a very easy fix. There's just multiple versions of The Pit.
You just got to click on the
available.
correct
So
one.
You clicked on the ASL dubbed one, and you want the non-ASL dubbed.
Yeah.
Oh, for love of
By the way,
God.
watching
That doesn't sound like a quick fix.
watching them,
It is.
watching them sign at concerts is the most amazing thing. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, yeah.
And at a metal show, it's unbelievable. Like they I think they line up like 3 of them and they change every song because there's just so much energy and they're moving. Like they are fascinating to watch at those shows.
I'm also reading because I thought the same thing as you, Dave. I'm like, all right, well, why can't they just read the captions? Like, interesting that they would do ASL. Apparently, their grammatical structure of ASL is completely different than the English that we're speaking now. So this is just a way to make it more accessible.
Oh, that's
to people who are
interesting.
deaf.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I'm glad I asked the question. You know that the Trump and Kennedy Center is having some troubles, and lots of acts are canceling, and this someone who was there perennially has just canceled, and no one's showing up, but they've turned it around. You know who they booked? Adam Carolla, baby.
Oh,
Playing the Trump Kennedy Center.
boy.
It's all going to be fine.
Thought you were going to say playing the trumpet. I was like,
I feel like that's
all right.
an interesting turn.
So I'm not trying to be a smart aleck. To do stand up?
Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't know that he still did. I don't know.
Well,
if
it's not funny.
I've never seen him like perform. Yeah, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I've never seen a clip of the guy performing. We'll put it that way.
For me, there was about 2 years of Adam Carolla that were good to me.
Yeah.
I was a little old for the
man show.
The big boob girls jumping on trampolines and let's cover them in Wesson oil and stuff like that. I just kind of rolled my eyes at that.
No, you could be too old for that.
And then there was a couple years where, oh, this guy's really smart and really funny. And then he went all MAGA and just like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's coming up on last call for FanDuel. The football season's wrapping up. Obviously, FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of KMOX. It is my official sportsbook, and it's phenomenally easy to use And, look, we all know you can wager on basketball and hockey and baseball, but football season's almost done. So you got one final Sunday, one more kickoff, the last chance to place your bets on football before the season closes up here in a couple of weeks. So it's Super Bowl 60. FanDuel is making sure that you're in on it. So if you're a new customer, you can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. So you create an account, very simple. You put in at least a $5 deposit because you got to wager $5. You make that wager, you win, you get $200 in bonus.